What is going on? What is going on? Welcome to Cleveland. This fine, what is today? What is today? Tuesday? I don't even know anymore what day it is. They all kind of merge together. They all kind of do their own thing. So hopefully you guys can hear me in the chat. If you can hear me, throw some ones. I think we're okay this time because it's not Monday. So, so we're good. I see the usuals in the house. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Good to see you. We got Rhett in the house, Ratbone, T Diesel, Lady Beats, moderator extraordinaire, DJ Trail, DJ Tweezy, DJ B Love, Lee-Man in the house, Orange Slice in the house, I Choose You, L Boogie, DJ Dre, My Subs Are Dope. Of course, the stupid old man in the chair. Old man in the chair coming in hot, coming in early. What is going on? What is going on? And last but not least, DJ Trey in the house. And as soon as this new message thing goes away, I can read the last one. T-Jam's in the house. T-Jam's in the house. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Lady Beats doing her thing as she's moving over to the many different streaming services that we are actually on right now. So I appreciate her for heading over, checking out YouTube, probably heading over to Mixcloud, just doing what she does naturally. So today is Tuesday. A lot of times we call this Tech Tuesday because we talk about tech. We have world-class events company by the name of SCE. Jason Jani will be on the show in a little bit, and should be a good time. I have nothing planned for Jason because in a way, Jason kind of operates like a myth. Everybody knows Jason, but it's like, do you really, really know Jason? So, because I even throw it out to my guys, I'm like, tell me something about Jason that, people won't know. And they're like, I don't know. Nobody knows this man. And that's good. That's good. Keeps the mystique up. Katie Lethal in the house. What's going on, fam? Louis Aranda, what's happening? I'm telling you that David Guetta WAP remix was super, super dope. It's totally eye-opening. And the funny thing was, for whatever reason, people just can't let this man eat. He does this thing from scratch. And yeah, he might have recycled some beats here and there from stuff that he already did. But to make it seem like he wasn't doing anything the whole time, oh, just garbage, trash. I'm like, I don't know about you, but I'm not seeing a lot of people make that thing happen the way they did. So if you guys get a chance, watch the David Guetta WAP remix. He does a remix from scratch for his live streams or his live performances, and he's like, I like to edit them up. I like to make them mine. That way, it always feels like a David Guetta show. So, basic stuff. But for whatever reason, and it was totally technical, totally intricate. It was impressive to watch. He showed you his side chaining and no chaining techniques, and people were still like, garbage. Like, this culture, man. This culture can't let anybody like do something that is against the world's approval, I guess. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely frustrating to watch. All right, let's see what we got here. Dre 287. DJ Authentic in the house just because he's David Guetta. Exactly. Applause buttons. You know what? That is actually something that I definitely need to do today. I need to put in an applause button. I cannot believe at this point I haven't done one, because it's really not so complicated. I just have to add it to my list here. Let's see what I got. Let's see if I have one already built in. That's not Lady Gaga. Okay, I gotta head over to my my Final Cut stuff. The work of a production. I mean, it literally is. Let's see, applause. Or what I could do, I could add a clap in and then just clap the hell out of it. Just clap, clap, clap over and over again. All right, let's see if anything comes up under applause. It always helps if you spell applause correctly. Okay. Oh, you know what they're going to make me do? None of these are WAV files. These are all like native files. So that sucks. All right, let's see what my claps are like. This is one of those days. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to go pull one. Because that's what we do. That's what we do when we need applause. So, if anybody has any tech questions while I am pulling this stupid applause sample. Hey, I see 8 watching on YouTube. Applause sample sound. No. Okay, let's find one we like. Let's not make it clap, because that's definitely going to get me demonetized. All right, that one works. That one works. Okay, so let's pull that one in. Let's get back to Matt, because I'm trying not to get demonetized, but you never know what's going to happen. I might get demonetized anyway. Oh, speaking of, so I don't know if anybody remembers, but the first, I think it might have been last Monday or Tuesday, and we were talking about, I was talking about people sending me music, uncopyrighted, copyright-free music, stuff that they're working on that maybe they want to get out there. And so we're playing through all this music. People are sending me stuff. I'm playing it as we talk. And I happen to have one of my songs just kind of playing in the background as I'm talking, and I used a sample in it, and my sample was the one that got it flagged. You can't win. So now I'm super, super cautious of anything that's out there that may flag me. So it is unfortunate, but it is actually my fault in that respect. I did that. All right, we're gonna pull this clap because that's the kind of guy I am. I am about the production. I am about professionalism. I am about to YouTube rip this. Normally YouTube rips would be bad, but in this case, I don't think it matters. In fact, I know it doesn't matter. All right, here we go. Let's pull this in. That's a hell of a clap too. That's like when you win like an Emmy. All right. All right, let's check out this clap. I said, let's check out this clap. Not quite sure why it's only playing on the left channel. Actually, I am, because I'm silly. All All right, here we go. I feel good about that one, except for the fact I don't want it. I just want to hold on to it, and I need to set up a better cue point for it. Yeah, that works. And the volume sounds good. I just need to add a cue point in. That way it comes on in the correct spot, because that's the key here. All right, that works. Then we just change this bad boy to the cue point that we want. And we are good to go. Okay. You've seen my my tech wizardry here. I know all of that was super technical, but that's okay. You gotta witness the behind the scenes. I mean, the biggest problem that I have is the fact that I'm literally one man that's doing everything. I'm doing the show, which obviously I'm gonna do the show. I'm doing all the graphics because I don't have a graphics person. So I'm doing all the graphics. I got to do all the promos. I got to do all the IG spots. I got to do everything. That's the biggest problem. You know, like I had to whip this up really fast so I could post it on the IG. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to lie. It looks kind of fly. Bars, but it still requires work. A lot of work. Here, I even have one without the. Now it looks like he's just like DJing. So there is a lot of work involved in this kind of stuff. A lot of work, but that's okay because you know that's the fun of it. Because for the most part, it is fun. It's kind of exciting again being... Son of a bitch. It's kind of exciting being busy. Because I don't know about you. A lot of people... I know some people are actually at their jobs right now. And that's dope. And other people like me are kind of sitting around just kind of waiting for stuff to happen. And when that happens, you gotta fill the void with something. And for me, it's apparently a lot of talking. I fill the void with sound, but for others, maybe it's DJing, maybe it's making new music or woodworking. I mean, it literally could be anything. But for me, that's what it is, and I'm sticking to it. It's not easy, but it's not hard, if that makes any sense. I always tell people when they ask me, you know, what should I do? What should I do? It's like, look, do what comes easy to you first. Do the thing that you can do without thinking about it, without hesitating. And then after that, you know, add to it. But don't try to do something super hard just because it's different. You know, like when they tell you to work, when you take a job, do a job that's really, really easy for you, because it'll allow you to do the other things that maybe are complicated. But if you take a job that's just complicated and doesn't capitalize on your strong suits, it's going to be real tough for you to progress, in this world. So do things that come naturally to you. A lot of people like to go against that for whatever reason, and I'm not a fan of that. I want people to do what they want. Somebody called this show. What did they call this show? They just posted on my. They just posted on one of my YouTube videos, and they called it. I gotta read it to you. Hold on. Oh yeah, Eddie of Last Creep said, "Love your DJ therapy sessions. Keep up the good work." I don't really think it's a DJ therapy therapy. It's very sweet. DJ therapy session. I've never thought of it like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this therapy for you? Or maybe it's therapy for me. Maybe it has nothing to do with you guys. Maybe it's all about me. Maybe I'm just a selfish man. That could be it. I definitely could be a selfish man. For people that are wondering, and let me scroll down this list one more time, just to make sure we got going on here. I find it funny that, as I scroll down this list, the conversation is with the same 10 to 12 people. They're involved in the chat. And I appreciate that because I require that in order to keep going. If there are no conversations, then literally it really just is me just talking. Get one with cheering too. Damn, Rhett. Can't the man just establish one? It's one thing at a time. One thing at a time. I got Rob A from the YouTube side. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. And Queso in the house. What's going on, Queso? Love you on my nachos. J Book fam. Good to see you, bro. I'm ready for a great show too. We'll see what happens. Steve Disco Newsom. What's going on, man? I like Steve. Steve's my guy. Steve's got a super, super dope show. I wouldn't say that it's a specialized show, but it's really not. He's just DJing, and it's a fun show to watch. I really, really enjoy it. DJ Authentic, have someone like me create a template for you and just have to edit the text and picture. No, yeah, it's not really about the template, and I agree with you. I do have templates. I haven't settled on one that I truly love yet. That's the other side of me. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, just a little bit. So, which is why when people say, do this, I add one new thing every time. In this case, I added 2 new things. But yes, templates definitely save the world, make the world go round. And I'm definitely going to be doing more templates. But if you if you have a template that works and you like it and you want to send it to me, I am not going to say no to you. I am never going to say no. Honestly. Just make sure that it's in at least a PSD format so I can edit it. But yeah, I'm not going to say no. Send me whatever you want. Let's scroll down here. DJ Dre 287. Thank you so much. I don't know if it's another level. It's definitely a level, but I'm not really sure if that I'm sending it to a new plateau. I'm just trying to do what I do. So thank you so much. I think the guests help do that. Ratbone says, yeah, I'm at a job right now, but it's super slow, but my gigs are picking up. Just nothing new. All rescheduled. And that's kind of what we're all dealing with right now. All rescheduled. To be honest with you, I have a serious trouble even looking at my emails now. I know that the moment I open it, people are going to just, hey, we need to reschedule, which I don't really care about. because we're in it now. But give me my money back. It's like, how do you expect me to give you money back when there's no money coming in? That's not how math works. That's not how business works. I can't give you something that I don't actually possess. So yeah, we're all dealing with that right now. Unfortunately, that is what we're all dealing with, but we'll get through. Steve says therapy for you. Yeah, I don't disagree. This might be a little therapeutic for myself. At least from a physical aspect, it gets me out of bed in the morning. Because if I didn't have anything to plan for, if I didn't have anything to shoot for, guaranteed I would be that guy that just sleeps till 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So it's just like working out. Like especially when the kids were at school, I would always work out like right after we took them to school. So 8 in the morning, take them to school, get home, and then work out. It's a little different now, but first things first, and let's just getting up in the morning because I wasn't doing that. All right. So, JB says, cool talk show. Thank you. Appreciate that. Queso says, wouldn't it be a good idea to use one of the audience members to be a special guest? Okay. So we should probably talk about that because I know a lot of people have been bringing this up. And this is a unique thing, and I'll try to explain why. And I'm going to say it bluntly, and I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way, but I speak in blunt words, so I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Right now, I am trying to build something, okay? And in order for me to accomplish what I'm trying to do, for instance, become partner on Twitch, or have a certain amount of numbers or a certain amount of subscribers, people that just kind of pop in and pop out are going to gravitate more to somebody that they want to know about, somebody that they look forward to, like, oh hey, DJ Bar is on, Rachel Lynch is on, Mojax is on, Jason Jani is on. And I have personally found when you bring people on that people don't know, the numbers just drop. It's the most bizarre thing. I've literally watched numbers like right now, I'm sitting at 72. I'll bring on somebody that people don't know, and it'll drop by 30, 40 people like that. I don't know why it is, but I do know this. Once you're operating at a certain level, and the trust is built in, then all bets are off. You can bring people in, you can do whatever you want, make it. I'm figuring out exactly when I want to start bringing people in, because it's going to happen. It's just not going to happen just yet, but it will happen. Maybe I'll dedicate a day, because I want to do like a little tech day where I bring in some people. One of the things I also want to do is I want to bring in some of my favorite Twitch artists, Twitch DJs, Twitch whatever. I want to start bringing them in too. So if for any reason, if you want me to see your stuff, send me a whisper. Because this show is kind of geared towards Twitch people, the guests are likely going to be people that are on Twitch. And now if you're asking why, it's simple. Because Twitch people have a invested following in Twitch already. So if I bring them on, they host a stream, they do whatever, people are naturally going to gravitate. It's not going to be the same if I pull somebody off of YouTube or Mixcloud or even Facebook. So if you want to be involved in this, you're definitely going to have to be on the Twitch side. Now, speaking of Twitch in ways to help the channel, because we are all about helping the channel. We're all about giving back. I try to give back with my information, with bringing people on that I think would be informative to the culture, to what we're doing here. And ways to support the channel are really really, really easy. You see right up here, the easiest way to support the channel is definitely by subscribing. Subscribing will cost you, especially in September. They call it September, not September. Subscribing will cost you $3.99. It's like a cup of coffee for me. Support the channel by subscribing, becoming a member if you're on the YouTube side. If you donating bits, all of these things help the channel, allow me to grow the channel and to keep doing this thing, because we all know that when we're in a situation where we financially don't have the time to do it, then things will have to shift. So if you find what I'm doing of value to you and you want to see this thing grow and grow and get bigger and bigger, support the channel. You know, there's a lot of different ways to do it. You can do it through the normal process. You can use your Amazon Prime to support the channel. That's an easy thing. You already have it. If you have Amazon Prime, it's free to you. You're just using me as your Amazon Prime sub. Sharing the channel is a fantastic way also. That doesn't cost you anything. Sharing the channel on your streams. I appreciate anything and everything that people do. So just needed to throw that out there. Let's scroll down. And I do like already that there's already 100 messages floating through this thing. That is fantastic. Authentic, thank you so much. Appreciate that. You know what? If there is, there is. I can only do me. I can't do anything else. And if somebody else comes on and does it and does a better job, more power to them. But I did it first. I kid. No, but in all seriousness, like, you know, there's enough room for everybody. That's like getting mad because another DJ got a gig. Like, that's it. That's essentially what we're talking about here. Another DJ got a gig. You know, like, I've been seeing people that I already know right now, friends of mine, they're starting to do more morning shows. And yeah, I could be annoyed, like, this is my time. I can't believe No, there's a lot of space and there's a lot of people in this world. So more power to everybody that's doing it the way they do it. And if you're good enough, if what you're doing is quality enough, then it won't matter. You know, simple as that. It won't matter. It does have a calmer approach. Yeah, we're not trying to, this isn't a political game show. We're not trying to scare people into watching the show. If you watch it, dope. If you don't. It's okay. Nicholas Beckard, what is going on? What is going on? I know, Steve. It's just every time I happen to come on, it's like it's not specialized, but you have a vibe to you. You have a way to you, and that's not a bad thing. You know, being able to spin all types of music and still have a vibe about you that is yours, unique to you. Like that's an amazing thing. A lot of people don't have that. They literally just get on and they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. So everything is different. Oh, tomorrow's going to be a completely different day, and my entire vibe has changed up. Like, we're not doing that. You don't do that. Ladies and gentlemen, if Tweak Music Tips is still on, I know they have a 10 o'clock show. I need you to put your hands together. Oh, check this out. Tweak. What's that? I need you to put your hands together for Tweak Music Tips. That's fam right there. Fam. Make sure you... By the way, if anybody doesn't know, Mojax and I will both be on Tweak Music Tips on Friday, where I think the guest is... I don't want to say a guest and be wrong. Because it was one guest a couple days ago, and now it's a different guest. But either way, it's a tech guest. You're going to appreciate it. I think it's Chris. They might be Chris Roman. Either way, Chris Roman from In Music. But it should be a good time. So make sure you head over there and follow Tweak Music Tips, because like I said, that is fam. All right, let's take a look here. Sean Caff in the house. Good to see you. Diamond Lee in the house. Oh, you know what? That's actually a really good question. When we're gonna have to start working on that. I'm gonna work on that today because I want to blow the Facebook servers down. I want it to be our last hurrah. And of course, look, there's still going to be people DJing on Facebook after the 30th. Okay, that's a fact. Some people are going to just kind of feel like I can just tempt fate and just do what I do. See how they push it. Are they really going to ban me? Some people will do that. I'm not. But I think that we should DJ so hard that they're forced to take us all down. Because that would be dope. If all the DJs went down just because all the DJs were doing it, DJing at the same time. So we definitely need to do that. That'll be a good time. Phenomenal in the house. What's going on? What's going on? Let's see if oh, there we go. Okay. People are blowing up here, Houston. Everyone's moving over here. Is that true? Moving out there, huh? I know Houston's a great city. I'm not going to say it's not. I've been there a couple of times. It's a beautiful city. But you know, no matter how much drama exists in California, I just love California. I mean, honestly, it's just if you haven't lived here, you don't understand. But it's the melting pot that is Southern California, and even Northern California, that just make it so different. I mean, there's so many different cultures and vibes that it's hard. It's hard to leave. You know, like I sincerely thought about leaving. You know, when they started to really go against businesses, because I have family in Vegas. I got family all across, you know, America, but most of my family's in Vegas now, and I'm still contemplating setting up my business in Vegas and then just transporting equipment to California. Because if you are in California, if you're trying to run a California business, the laws are not designed to support business. Never have. Especially in Los Angeles. Los Angeles will kill you with the amount of things that they require in order to run a business. It's designed almost for you not to want to run a business. But once you get out of that hump, then it's a little bit of a different story. But it's tough. It's tough. Lee, man, I can't talk about the worst mobile gig. I honestly don't remember. I don't remember. Now, I say I don't remember because I don't really have horrible gigs. You know, it's never that situation because I've worked at it for so long. I'm able to like see when things are about to go bad and then change course because I've been doing it for a long time. But I haven't had a gig where I'm just like, that's the worst gig ever. I've never had a gig that was the worst gig ever that was my fault. Does that make sense? So I have been involved in bad events, but never from me. Like I didn't cause the bad event. Honestly, I know it sounds weird. It sounds weird. But we will ask Jason and see what Jason says. See what his gigs are like. I mean, when you do as many as he does, I'm sure I can talk about the worst gig that my company has done, which is a completely different thing. That's a completely different thing. Because we have done some pretty crappy parties. Not too many. I can count them on my hand how many times we've had like a truly bad party. And I'm talking like 4 times. And I'll tell the stories, I guess. But yeah, never for myself causing the party to go wrong. That's never really happened to me. Because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and I won't allow that to happen. I do see Jason in the green room. We'll be getting on in just a few minutes. Jason, did you just make sure you check your audio? Make sure you see audio, just so we're on the clear. If you do, just give me a thumbs up because I can't hear you, but it's in the advanced settings. So just make sure you see that. We don't want to run into a PJ issue. Okay. All right, Chaos Jones. First of all, DJ Paris Paul in the house. What's going on, fam? That is my fam. Make sure you follow him definitely on the Twitches. Follow him on the Instagrams. DJ Paris Paul. It's the same way across the board. DJ Paris Paul. Follow my man. Follow my man. Okay. DJ Chaos Jones says, I had a $2,000 party canceled 10 days before. The party was booked 8 months before. And was like, yeah, can I get that next week? Yeah, no. Yeah, nobody is getting money back right now. Nobody's getting money back, and it has nothing to do with your willingness to give money back. It has to do with the fact that there's no money to give. Especially, I mean, I don't know about you, but like, the deposits for us are used to pay for our bill. That's why they're non-refundable deposits. We don't pay for the final balance. Now, having said that, if somebody did pay the final balance and then canceled, there's a little bit more of a push that you're going to have to probably do at some point. At least you're going to have to say, yeah, you'll get your money. But I'm not a fan of giving back deposits because that's the non-refundable part. Now, everybody's going to be different. But like for us, being in the situation, like I have parties that are not happening until February, March that are canceling, and they're like, send us our deposits back. I'm like, well, you can't even guarantee that you're not going to be allowed to have a party. So it kind of creates a little bit of an issue because we're still within our legal rights. Now, yeah, some people can say that's kind of maybe it's just showing good faith and being a good businessman, but there's a gray area in between that you're going to have to monitor when you give back money, because I'm more concerned with opening up the floodgates to everybody's getting back their money. And now if you were concerned about being out of business, now you're out of business because you're putting out more money than you are getting in. And that's the case right now. Nobody's getting money. So even for the people that I've said we're refunding, it's not happening right now. There's no money to refund. So, they're going to have to wait like everybody else. Queso, will there be NAMM in 2021? No, there will not. NAMM has been canceled. All of the tech shows have been canceled, and rightfully so. We have to really be smart about this. Okay, so Jason, give me the thumbs up on the camera just so I know that we're good. Oh, he's giving me the pause. Okay, so we'll keep on until we're ready. Kings and Queens Entertainment, what is going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. That's Canada right there. And I'm going to tell you, if I could move somewhere right now, it'd probably be Canada. To me, Canada is, I've been to Canada a couple times, and it's always been good. I've always loved what Canada has to offer. Now, I know they don't want us there. They've closed the borders on us like we're Mexico. But still, I'm going to have to apply for dual citizenship. Hey, there's work in Canada too. All right, let's take a look. Lee Mastermind in the house. What is going on? What is going on? Authentic says, yeah, deposit money is used to get more business. If you just keep it in a safe, it's money that's not growing. So look, again, deposits have always been a non-refundable money. So I had a guy actually say to me once, recently, I don't want to say once, like all these things happened just in the last couple of months. When I told him, he says, I want to cancel. Granted, his party's not until December. We're not going to have it. It's not to the level that we want, so we want to cancel. I said, okay, that's fine. So yeah, I'd like my deposit back. And I said, well, deposits are non-refundable. So we'll just walk away and you can use it as a credit at some point. Like, you don't even have to do credits, but it's our way of kind of saving face right now. And the guy literally asked me, what did you do with the money? What did you do with the money? As if a non-refundable deposit was something that we weren't entitled to spend. And I kind of chuckled because I was actually shocked at the question, because what I did with the money was pay the bills, was buy new lighting for the party that's coming up in 3 weeks, pay my staff, pay insurance, pay for the office. Like, all of those things are what I did with the money. And I did it with your deposit, and I did it with the other person's deposit, and so on and so forth. Because contractually, it's the only thing that's non-refundable. Hence, the moment you give us that deposit, it's ours. We're free to do with whatever we want with that thing. So, I'm kind of a stickler for that. I really am. And I think that if you open the door... Now, of course, look, we're in a different situation right now because of COVID. So that's obviously an issue that we have to really walk on eggshells with. But there has to be a point, because some people are just being greedy. Okay, some people are just like, oh, you know what? We're not going to have it. Just give us all of our money back. And you're like, your party's not for another year. No, you're not getting your money back. That's not going to happen. Now, if you had booked it, I had a wedding book, one for June. They booked it in, I want to say, late April. And they had to cancel it because of COVID. They were not having a party. And so I was like, okay, look, yes, you are definitely going to get your money back because they just booked. But we get people that book events 2 years in advance. 2 years in advance. 2 years in advance, and they're like, okay, my party's not going to happen next year like I thought it was. I can only have 50 people instead of the 300. So I'm going to cancel it. And when are you going to send me my deposit back? Like, you're going to tell me that you actually need this money after 2 years? Like, you're still thinking about this deposit 2 years later that you need it now? You know, now keep in mind, the clients I have are probably like Jason's. They're high-end, high-profile clients. The deposit is not a thing for them. It's not. So the fact that some of them are like, yeah, give it to us. Like, okay, that's just being petty. Jason, thumbs up? Cool. Okay. So we're going to bring Jason on in just a second. I know I'm behind on this, so we're just going to scroll through here. I did not say that. That is T Diesel that said that. I just need you to understand that. That is not me. Go Mogo, all the way on the YouTube side. All right. Okay. So I think we hit all of the people. DJ Mighty Rel in the house. What is going on, fam? Good to see you. So Mighty Rel does this thing called Moist Mondays. And I don't know, the term Moist Mondays doesn't sit well with me. Now, it's a dope show. It's a dope show. He's playing a lot of old school, a lot of just kind of cool neo soul and stuff. But there's like rain and showers, and he says moist a lot. And I'm just like, there's too much moist happening here. I got to get out of here. My phone is starting to drip with sweat. But it's a dope show every Monday, Moist Mondays with the Mighty Rel. Okay, so I got my man. He's waiting in the green room. He is ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, this man has been doing this for 500 years. I think so. Anyway, and he is well known in the entire industry as kind of being one of the tops as far as DJ companies go. And everybody knows SCE events. As a matter of fact, when I found out about SCE events, and it wasn't that long ago, I'm gonna be honest with you, because I mean that's a New York and East Coast company, so it's not like I know every East Coast company in the world. And they were like, "Oh, SCE Events, SCE." I'm like, "Why do you keep talking about this company? What is SCE Events?" "Oh, they're only the biggest DJ company in the world." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." So Jason was kind of like this mystical creature that everybody kept talking about, but I hadn't seen him. I didn't know what he was about. And then because of Twitch, because of COVID, I was able to finally meet the guy and to kind of learn a little bit more about him. And I keep telling people this. This wouldn't have been a thing without Twitch. It would not have been a thing. Even Jason on the channel right now would not have been a thing. But because of Twitch, it's offered a lot of connections that I wouldn't have had. That I would assume even Jason wouldn't have even had. Now, before I bring him on, I want to make sure everybody is hosting this stream. Share, host the stream. We are not doing a sub-only chat yet, Mr. Paris Paul. We're not going to do that. Not for this one. But I need everybody to share and host the stream because we are going to bring him on right now. Hopefully, when I click in on him, he is going to be good. So, ladies and gentlemen, my great pleasure to introduce to you, Mr. Jason Jani.
Yo! Am I good? Am I good? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Let me throw on my ear pod because I never do. So, hold on. There we go. Are you there?
I'm here. Can you get you? Did this work? Did I check in okay?
You sound perfect. You sound perfect. You sound perfect. Now, hold on. Here's your. I had to give you your applause. Give you your applause. You're very, very welcome. Now, I will say this right off the bat. Let me shut this down. Visually, quite impressive. You're the best looking visually video that I've had an interview on. So good job on that one.
That was kind of the look I was going for with this, right?
I'm telling you, it's hold on, let me get myself on here because
there we go. Perfect.
I'm going to share. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So as I was telling people before, I
heard the intro. It's pretty accurate, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's one of those amazing things that it's like, I don't even know how much information you ever knew about me prior to any of this stuff. I don't know if any of my videos maybe popped up on your stream or not, but it's one of those things where, like I said, I heard about you. I heard about SCE events, but I had no idea. I had no idea the level you guys were operating on. Everybody, Rick Webb is always like, Jason Jani. I'm like, who? What? First off, do you love this man? Like, why are you talking about him so much? But it was but Rick's a good man. And then, with Nick and everything, and I knew Nick worked for you.
Yeah.
So it's quite a small world because I didn't know that was even a connection.
I'm kind of like in the same boat, which is kind of weird. And then to be very candid with you, like we connected on Twitch. I mean, Twitch is just such a beast of a platform right now. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't really actually even beyond that is like through DMS because, I'm a content creator for DMS. I'm part of the DMS fam and I do a lot of like stuff for Warren and Kevin. And I've been on that crew for a while. And I've heard the name Cleveland Terry through the grapevine. And I'm like, who's this Terry dude from Cleveland? I'm like, how do I not know him? Long story short, because of Twitch, I got the whole story. It's not, you're nowhere near Cleveland and your name is Cleveland. Right. And I'm like, yo, I'm such an idiot. Like, how did I not get this? And then I'm like, and everyone's like, yo, he's got this crazy thing going on YouTube, all this crazy stuff, whatever. And, like I haven't really dabbled with YouTube in a while other than us just throwing content up for the company. And I heard Nick talking about it, all this different stuff. And then I stumbled on the video and I actually watched the video of you closing up the office. And I was like, I don't know how I'm not connected to this man, but I think I need to either have a conversation with him or I need to kind of deep dive in it. And through the interwebs and the power of Twitch, we've been able to link on a number of different occasions for a number of different pop-ups. There's so many different people that kind of bounce around on the channels. Like we're all connected. Right. So it's like a beautiful thing. And now we're like texting and messaging and stuff like that. So it's cool.
Yeah, no, it's been great for me. Honestly, I would have never expected any of this. And it's like, and I go to NAMM. I went to NAMM last year and I was kind of developing a name, but still not to the level that, I'd wanted to. But I'm talking to people and they're still like, yeah, okay, well, maybe we can do something, blah, blah, blah. Now on Twitch, it's just like everybody's like, yeah, well, we're sitting around, you're sitting around. let's do something. So it's way different. It's way different now. Way different.
To be honest with you, Cleveland, I feel like I've spent the last 15 years of my life. So maybe not a dinosaur in the terms of the intro, but I've literally tried to influence the mobile DJ and private event DJ culture for the positive. And that's been no joke, my mission. I feel like not every wedding DJ is a cheese ball. And yes, there are plenty of them that fit that bill, but there is such an opportunity and people are looking for awesome. So, I started building a NAM a couple of years ago and I've been able to go there a number of times with different manufacturers or for DMS and shoot content and do all different and stuff. And man, the community is very big, but it's also very small at the same time. Yes. I think that goes along with everything, so there's so many people, everyone's connected to somebody in some way, shape or form. It's just a matter of putting the pieces in the right places and then being all right, that's my link. That's how we're connected. And then good people, I feel like whether today, tomorrow, or in 10 years, all gravitate towards one another. It just,
I agree.
It's just a matter of the hustle,
Right. Now, so I guess the first question I'm going to ask you is how long have you been running SCE and what were you doing prior to SCE?
So I started SCE technically in the early 2000s, and it was called Sound Connection Entertainment, and it was a part-time hustle for me. And I went to school to be an engineer. That's what my degree is in. And through college, I was DJing in clubs and doing all the crazy stuff like many people still do or have done. And I never really wanted to do mobile stuff. I tried it. I dabbled in it with another company. I hated it. And I was doing a party in Hoboken and, there was a group of girls there and this one girl was like, yo, I want to hire you for my company party. And I'm like, if you want me to do the Macarena with your boss, I'm probably not the best fit for you. Literally straight up. And she's like, well, I could pay you. And it was $1,500 at the time. And, you're going back a little bit. And I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, I could do that, and she's like, and then she's like, I don't want you to do any of that stuff. I just want you to do what you do here, there, try to limit the curse words and you might have to wear a jacket. And I was just like, where is it? And she's like, New York. And I'm like, who is it for? And it turned out being an event for Mercedes-Benz. And I was like, okay, yo. And then I went and I did this party and I'm like, my eyes just were like, yo, people don't want that electric slide, chicken dance, Macarena thing. I immediately I had that feeling. And then by the good grace of good fortune and a lot of hard work and a lot of care and a lot of conversations, opportunities started to present themselves to me. And literally here I am now a long time, in the game. In 2009, I left my path of being a full-time DJ and being an engineer. I worked for AT&T. And then I started my business, now known as the SCE Event Group. I updated the name in 2011. And here we are today. We do events literally all over the planet and work for people that you see on television, you listen to on radio, you watch on Sundays play football, and everyone in between, and it's never would I thought that the hustle, the passion, the things that I once upon a time were no effing way would I ever do that would provide a lifestyle for myself and the universe of people surrounding SCE. And that's just been, it's been a pretty humbling and quite rewarding journey. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, at least in California, I know it's a little different because you're New Jersey or New York or one of the same, I guess.
I'm in New Jersey, in central Jersey. So, and what you see on the old Jersey Shore is not New Jersey for real. That's fake New Jersey. I live by the beach, but it's not like that,
Gotcha. So, well, I guess my question is, how much do party planners, coordinators play a role in your ability to get gigs in New Jersey and so forth? Because in California, it's a little different. So how much emphasis do you have to place on the party planner for bringing in the work, or do people call you directly? Like, what is your ratio, do you think?
So to be very candid with you, I do work with planners, but a lot of times, and this doesn't even go for just local events. I'm talking about like celebrity events and other events that are like larger and outside of the area. Planners do play a big part in a lot of the large, high-end events that take place. But from an SCE perspective, I try to establish my business from day one, not relying on people to feed the funnel that fed my team.
Yes.
So like, I was like, how do I independently just create great content? How do I connect good people in the right places at the right time so that we never have to rely on someone outside of our group, out of our control, outside of our family to kind of create opportunities? So are there planners? Yes, certainly. Do we deal with a lot? Maybe like 10%. I mean, that's, or maybe 5%. It's not huge, but the ones that we do work with are like die hard, no questions asked. It's like, it's more like a placement that when they come in, and I think that's the power of having a good relationship with a planner. So it's like, you know, I love to build more of that, and I can see more of that happening thanks to COVID. And like the trend on micro weddings and extreme personalization and stuff like that. But my business is primarily focused in weddings, adult attended events, not adult like inappropriate, like adult attended events. And we do like nightlife, and we do fashion, and like that's kind of like our angle. We do more what I would consider boutique production events. So we create, it's not like two towers and a facade and call it a day. It's more like, how do we trick this space out and make it like something no one saw coming? And how do I then beat them up with music that stomps and, you know, make people make bad decisions and all that stuff.
So, and I know, so you're a one-stop shop. That's what they, you know, a lot of the East Coast companies appear to be that way, where you do everything. Everybody comes in and says, I want a party, and you bring the furniture, you bring the lighting, you bring all that stuff. You handle it yourself?
Well, we primarily just do entertainment solutions. So it's really like entertainment, lighting, which would be like more like, you know, 6, 8, 4, 2 towers.
Trusses
lights,
and,
right. Like monogram, moving or not. We don't really get into, you know, I feel like when you get into like, first off, most DJs do lighting solutions, but I think a lot of people do a really shitty job at it. Okay. And I think when you get into like the high end stuff, that's when like the DJ gets hired for the talent they bring to the table. And then like, if you're doing a high end event, usually they have a lighting production company coming in to light design the space, you know? So for us, we don't do like photo, we don't do video. We do photo booths, but I'm kind of like right now on the fence of even like evaporating that from my company fold, because I just don't know if it financially makes sense anymore, you know? And I've done photo booths as well all over the world for Kanye, for Kim, for Jay-Z. I mean, I've done for Ariana Grande. I have stuff in her house, in her mom's house. Like I have like sick relationships in that world, but I just don't know if it makes sense anymore. And I'm like, yo, COVID's the perfect time to do like a hard business reset and just like literally focus on everything you want to like put your time into.
Yeah, I actually, I took a moment and looked at I think it was like your 7 COVID tips or whatever, what your company is doing to provide safe events. And I looked at like your photo booth, and you're like, we're no longer doing props. We're no longer doing this. I'm like, this is exactly what I'm facing right now. Like, because I kept telling people, I'm like, I don't think we're going to do props anymore. I think we're going to have an attendant. He's just going to stand there. He will give you your pictures, or we just send them all electronically, get rid of prints completely, and move that route. Because there's so many little issues now that can get you into trouble.
It's like a whole lot of unknowns, and there's zero direction. And Jersey and California, I think, are very much in line with like the restrictive kind of like nature of the government executive order, right? So like, not to go on and on, but like for me, I'm like, yo, it's not even worth it for me to put whether you agree with COVID, whether you think it exists, it doesn't exist, it doesn't even matter anymore. It's like,
Right.
it's like, it's here, and we're going to be dealing with it, not just like today and tomorrow, but for the next 2, possibly 3 years, we're going to have some element of this universe over our head in the best case scenario. So,
Right.
you know, what are you going to do? Zero touch photo booth, scan a picture, activate the thing. I mean, that technology is already in play with a lot of the photo booth manufacturers that are legit, you know, but is that what people really want? Do you want to put 10 people on top of each other in a very small space? Like, do you want to have them touching a mirror? Do you want them to put something on? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? And the social stuff is the win right now, I think, in the photo booth world, but there's just so much that's like, yo, I don't even know if it matters. I don't know if it matters anymore, you know?
Well, it's funny because, like, for us, you see, yours is weddings and like high-end private events. Ours are high-end bar mitzvahs, which is funny because, you know, on the East Coast, bar mitzvahs are huge. He's like, that's his assistant bringing his beverage.
That's my girlfriend. That's Lauren. She just came home. Thanks, Laura. She's just like sneaking in, like, don't want to disturb, but yo, this is like rocket fuel, crack, get me through the rest of the day, and we have a long day ahead. So
I can't do caffeine, so I'm no rocket fuel for me.
Yo, I'm like double fisting over here.
But like I was saying, so we do bar mitzvahs, and I know on the East Coast it's a huge thing. Yeah. But I would assume that the market might be a little saturated because of some of the larger events out there. But you know, here we do that. We do high end stuff too. I would say I would put us more slightly on the tier underneath because we do events. You know, the Will Smiths and the Cedric the Entertainers, like all those things, like we do.
Yep.
But there is another level of party planner that will use like her favorite guy.
Yep.
And he will do all the events, and every so often she'll call us and go, you know,
hey, my guy's booked. Can you help us out? Like, yo, come on.
Yeah. Right. Or it'll be as simple as we need a hip hop guy that's great with the kids and knows the music, and then it's literally like, well, this guy can't do it, so they call us. You know, so now we have that thing, but it's very interesting. What would you say as far as like larger companies versus smaller companies exist around you? Because we have like three that are major companies that we're competing with.
So for anyone that's not familiar with the Northeast United States, like in terms of like the mobile DJ universe of talent and business, it's probably by far the most populated and condensed per region area in the entire world. There's no other place that has more, not only venues or opportunities to do events, but more companies and people playing. So there's small, there's big. We have Total Entertainment is based here. They're like a $25 million a year organization. That's Jeff Cyber and Mark and Jason. Like there are companies like that. And then there's smaller companies. So like for me, I never really liked, I like to play, and I put this in a video I just dropped today. Like, I'd rather have friends in this business than foes. I'm always, whether I was in high school, whether I was in college, whether I was in a club, whether I'm on Twitch, whether I'm doing my thing, I always want to be friends with the people that are around me because I feel like that's how the world works, right? The more people that you fight with or you go back and forth with, whatever. We have competitors, of course. There's a million people that do what we do. But I try to like differentiate myself because we kill them with hospitality, we kill them with results. And we work insanely hard. The people that work on my team do this full time for their career. And, you know, like we put everything into it. We also don't take on what we can't handle. So like mitzvahs, we do like 2,000 events a year in total. We probably do 5 bar mitzvahs or bar mitzvahs. Okay. And we only do that for people that we have existing relationships with that come to us. Maybe one planner, maybe like one this, where they're like coming to the table like, yo, they want something fresh, because they don't want to go to the factories that do this all the time, and they want the result, but they want it like from a different angle. And I never really I never really was passionate about it because I'm not of culture, right? Like I'm not Jewish. I understand the sacraments. I understand the process, but it's not a bad thing. It's just, that's not where my heart is. I have my own 13-year-old daughter. I don't want to like run after someone else's kids and like teach them how to do this and jump up and down. Like,
Right.
Although that's not always required, that's what I've seen in a lot of the Northeast mitzvahs. That's what the expectations are. And I don't know. Are there a lot of competitors? Yeah, totally. There's a lot of people that will cut your throat. They will knock you out at the knees. They'll shoot an arrow at your back. They'll run you over the truck. But like, I feel like, the key to winning in the mobile business for anyone that's thinking of starting a business outside of COVID or pushing through it is like, you have to be consistently awesome.
Yes.
And you have to always deliver. Like whatever you say you're going to do, you have to live up to that expectation. You need to like be honest. You need to be real, and you need to just be 100% consistent. You have to show up when the phone's called. You have to show up when that event is needed. You have to show up on top of something. You can't half-ass anything. And that's like the key. I think if you can do that, you win, and a lot of times when people have to give it away to get it, there's either two things. Either they're young and hungry into the business and they just want to like beat it up and get their feet wet. But anyone can be hot for like 6 months. Anyone can be hot for 3 weeks. Anyone can be hot for a year. But what happens when there's a global pandemic and you have, like your whole world shuts down? You like, in the best case scenario, if you look at the impact of 2020 to like my world, 50 plus people that work at SCE, our goal was, I had a financial goal and a number goal, 2,000 events this year. We were going to hit that or surpass it. And if we're lucky, the best case scenario is we do 6% of what was already contracted, before March, right? Like, and that's assuming like COVID goes away tomorrow, so like the likelihood of that happening isn't real. So how do you deal with that? How are you going to deal with the objects, the issues, the stuff that's presented to you? What are you going to do when you have that couple or that client or that planner calling on the phone, crying because they can't have what they wanted because it's so emotional for them, and you're like the dude holding on to that deposit? How are you going to like conduct yourself? And like, can you be consistent when you're pushed to the limit? Can you deliver? That's the stuff that differentiates people, I think, not to go off on a...
No. You're exactly right. And it's funny that you mentioned the thing about new people that come on. Because like I said, we have like 3 major companies, but then for whatever reason in LA, there's a whole bunch of one-person companies out there, and they all have their kind of foot in the door. Even though we don't do nearly as many parties as you do, like 2,000 is absolutely insane. We do 400 to 500, and we are considered successful. So 2,000 is operating on a completely different level. But every so often, we'll get, oh my God, this new guy's here, and oh, they're amazing, and how are you guys different from this guy? And it's like, well, first off, we've been here, and we've shown you party after party how consistent that we are. You're guaranteed a great party. You're not going to have a poor party. So that's the first thing. Consistency, level of focus allows us to do this thing. And I always tell people, they're like, well, no, but he's really, really good. I said, look, he's good now. It's the start of the season, especially with bar mitzvah. A lot of people don't know this, but when bar mitzvah season starts, August, September, for most people, you can do pretty much anything you want. And the kids, the adults are just like, party, this is amazing. You can be a bad DJ and get away with a whole lot. As soon as you start to push into like 5 months, 6 months, and those same people are like, they have seen it, been there, done that. Now all of your tricks don't work. So I always tell people, I'm like, look, yes, they're good. It's September. Let me know how they are in March. Let me know how they are in May when it's the end of the season for these kids, and these kids have gone to 140 bar mitzvahs. How are they going to be then? And that's the difference. You develop a plan. You develop a way that works that can ensure the success of a party. Everybody's got their formulas.
I tell you what, like everyone does have their formulas, and the things that don't win. And I'm sorry in advance if this offends anyone that's listening to this right now, because I know there's a lot of homies on all the platforms. I see like the count building up over here. But the thing is, if you're doing the same shit every time you go into a show, pardon my language, like you need to fucking stop. Like you have to cut it out. Like, because you're not only doing yourself an injustice, but you're doing the people you're working for an injustice. And I'm not saying like, oh, like this is like my routine when I go out and this is like how I start it. Like, okay, cool. Well, like remix it, flip it up, get a new edit, like flip it around. Like, you know what I mean? That's why when I listen to people talk and they're like, well, all wedding DJs play the same thing. I'll be like, nah, I don't, I would literally argue that until I turn purple, because I can show you videos of me playing bass house electro edits, and having grandparents jump up and down with their family members on a dance floor that some people in some places could never even think about doing, you know. But like that again, like that's my brand. Like I create events, and we at SCE create events for people that are looking for excellence. They're looking for something a little bit fresh, and it's not easy to be fresh. It's not easy to not do the same thing. Like to use the same folder all the time. Yo, that's like easy money, right? Like cruise control. But you want to do the right thing. You want to like push boundaries. You want to build a business that lasts. Like get creative and work freaking stupid hard, you know?
Yeah. You know, it's interesting though, because like, I know you do a lot of weddings.
Yep.
And I have found that there is a different level of energy with weddings that isn't the same for like bar mitzvahs. Bar mitzvahs, when people have been through them, I mean, some of these people, this is like their, 80th event they have to go to on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Weddings, however, this is once, maybe once, twice a year for friends. So it's always new to them to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So there's a different energy.
It depends. I mean, I feel like birds of a feather flock together, right? Like when one girl who's 27 years old gets married, usually she has her tribe in her wedding squad that like one by one, it's like, boom, I'm engaged. Oh, I'm engaged. Oh, they just got engaged.
Right.
Oh, congratulations, you're engaged. Oh my God. And then it's like, they go through the movement. All right, everyone's engaged. Everyone buys the house. Everyone gets their dog. Then comes the family life, like that's like the adult trend. And like, it usually starts somewhere around like 26, 27 years old. And then you have people that are professionals that work stupid hard, that don't settle down until they're like in their 30s. They enjoy life, like whatever, and
that's an LA thing.
Right. Yeah. And like, we have that too. Like I'll deal with like, a couple. I just did a wedding last weekend. Oh my God, it was like so nice to do a wedding. But I just did a wedding and it was like, yo, these people are like super successful. They all have their like own little thing. Like everyone's the company this person's a TED Talk. This one's 40 under 40. This one's this. Like everyone's like all these like hot shots. And I'm like, it's a super pretty crowd, but we're outside in New Jersey. And it's like, okay, cool. And you look around and it's like, man, like, they've seen these people, this is like their part-time job is going to weddings, right? Like, cause there's like 12 on each side in the wedding party. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, these people know what's up. So like, you have to be like, not just dope, but like, you gotta take chances. You gotta like push the limits. You gotta like be a little bit different in like what you're introducing, or like, you'll just be another number and it's just another okay wedding. Like I never want to be just
right.
Okay. I want to leave people with like, I don't even care when I need a party, but I need that dude's information. I need to hit him up on Instagram because I had such a good time that when the time comes, like that's my dude. You know what I mean? And
yeah, it's interesting because, and every time I've done a wedding, I always find myself going, not so much that this was easy, but there's so much flexibility in your ability to play music when you DJ a wedding that it's freeing, because that's the one thing, I don't have that. Like when we do, and I keep going back to bar mitzvahs because that's the example I'm going to use. But bar mitzvahs are like, no, this is what you play. You play the kids' music, you play the adult music that maybe the kids are listening to, that also the adults want, and that's it. You do a wedding, it's like, depending on their age, it could be their vibe can be completely different. All their family and friends have different vibes, so you can jump around, and that to me is fun. Even though weddings are stupid long, I don't know why they're always so damn long, but you have time. You have time, and it's like, this is fine. I can get through a 6-hour event because I have so many. It's almost like DJing. On Twitch.
Yeah. I was gonna say, bro, like literally I doing my prep for this. I'm like, yo, let me just put on Cleveland's YouTube and like check out his stuff. And I don't even know what I clicked on. It was like the truth about open format DJ. So I'm like, dope. I would consider myself an open format DJ, right? Like, so I'm like, let me look at what he said. And I'm like, yo, spot on. But I think like to be a dope wedding DJ, and I think there are so many good ones that are ridiculously knowledgeable, ridiculously talented open format DJs, because you have to know more than just hip hop and house or hip hop and EDM or like the top 10, salsa songs or the top 10 reggaeton songs or the top 10 cultured songs or whatever. And like whatever, like, pop radio is dictating at that moment, at that point in time for the past 5 years or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you need to like roll deep, because the deeper you can roll, the better and the stronger you can be when you're put in a position where you're like, yo, I don't even know what to do right now with this. You know what I mean? Like, where do I go? Do I go after grandma? Do I go after Aunt Brenda? Do I go after the tribe? Do I go after the kids? Like, who am I playing for right now? Because like, I don't even know where to start. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've all been there. Yeah, it's especially when you're dealing with like the amount of people. I don't know what your average wedding is people wise, but for us it's 250. Yeah, that's always, and it's like, okay, who do you shoot for first? I always say go after grandma first, because grandma's going to be the one that's going to literally yell at you when the music's too loud. But if you give her what she wants in the beginning, you're typically fine for the rest of the night, no matter what you play. So that's always been my thing. They leave early. Like, everything's just a little different with the grandparents.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I try to get like the older people moving, and I try to do it in a way where it like twists it up with like stuff that the younger people can get down to. And if you can do that, usually you set yourself up for success later on, because the older people that maybe would turn off because they're already kind of like acclimated to the style of play, how fast you're moving, your tempo, whatever, like you can bring them into things that they would normally not dance to. And I probably have 100 terabytes of video of the show, like people dancing to music. They have no friggin' idea what the hell they're dancing to, but they're lost in the moment because they had a great time. And it wasn't like, I feel like a good open format DJ can rock a club, but they also like, it's like the setup, right? I think the setup is like the foundation. And I feel like that right there is the thing that really like is the most important part of any like successful event. It's like, because you just can't, turn a car on and just hit the gas and do 100 miles an hour. You need to like get there, and the setup is. Yeah, you got to build confidence. Confidence is key when you're a DJ. Trust that the DJ is not going to make you look like an idiot, even though the word idiot, the term is wrong, but it's a vibe. It's a feeling that people get when they recognize a bad DJ. In the moment you're in that bad DJ box, they no longer trust anything you're doing. They don't want to come to the dance floor. But if you've shown them, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. He's playing the music that I like. He's playing music that I'm not really comfortable with, that I don't know, but it's still a good vibe. So I'm going to stay on the dance floor for this. And the DJ knowing how long to stay in something before you move out, because people are getting uncomfortable. A lot of DJs, especially open format DJs, the number one thing you got to be able to do is be able to read a room, and react to a crowd that you've never met before that has zero expectations of the event they're walking into. So you're kind of setting the rules. You're establishing what's going on from the start. But if you go at it wrong, it's uphill the entire night. So how has business been for you, like with COVID, and like where are you guys? Because honestly, that was like when I'm like, oh, there's a lot of places we can go with this conversation. Like, I'm curious to know like how you guys are doing, just both like from a fabric of the company perspective, like moving out of the office, all that stuff, but also from like a booking perspective. Like how are you holding up? How is it going for you? Like what is, not to flip it all around and stuff like that, but I think
no, it's
that's
fine.
the stuff that's like, you know, like for me, I'm like, yo, how's he doing? Like I saw that video, I reached out to you right away. I'm like, yo, I saw that video. I'm like, I think we need to have a talk and like make sure you're good. You know what I mean? Because bro, like for me, it's been emotional. Like this whole journey has been like depressing, emotional. I get happy, I get sad. I'm like, yo, this is fucking terrible. And then it's like, okay, we're here. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I want to know how you're doing. You know?
No. Without question, it's been exceptionally tough. When we closed the studio down, we had been talking about it for a couple of months, and we were trying to work with our landlord because we've been there for 8 years, 9 years.
Yep.
And like 8 years, 9 years, like always on time. Just automatic payments always went out. Like it was never a thing. Never missed a payment. So when COVID happened, and he knew what we do. It wasn't like we walked in and he had no idea. He knew we were an entertainment company, and we called him out like, hey guy, look, this is the situation we're in. Is there any way that, we can figure this out, break down the payment, maybe go back to our original thing? Because he raises it up every single year. So it's been more and more expensive, and we've just paid it. And he's like, okay, so we'll give you 25% off. And okay, I guess we'll have to deal with that. We had taken out a couple of loans, so we were able to like fund that. And then it got to a point where it was like, okay, now we need to make a choice. Are we going to use these loans to pay salaries, or are we going to use these loans to pay for a building that we're not using? And we had a couple of checks automatically go out, and one of them was at the original price point that we'd been paying monthly. And my partner, he's actually in here, Paris, basically said, hey, I overpaid you. On the next check, I'm going to pay you what we agreed upon. And the landlord says, nope, we're going to keep it the way it is. Since you paid it, now people are actually able to pay their mortgage, or their rent, so we're going to keep it that way. And at that point, I was like, you know what? If he's not going to try to take care of us, and we were always fantastic tenants, if you're not going to try to take care of us, then it's probably best that we just move it out. So we told him. He understood. He wasn't, because we were on a month to month, because I was concerned after our last thing. It's like, we'll just keep it month to month. So he was totally fine with it. And we started setting up. I was looking for a place that we could move out to, one place that would allow us to load in our equipment after hours, because most of them shut down at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. And I'm just sitting there like, my parties don't end until 12, 1 in the morning. How am I going to get my equipment back? Guys are going to have to take the equipment home. And then the guy finally said, no, as long as you're a business, you're good. I'm like, okay, thank God. So as far as like clientele, we have basically dried up completely. It appears for us, at least, that everybody follows the market. They follow the news cycle. So if the news cycle is like, hey, we are developing a COVID and a COVID vaccine, and it's going to be out in November, all of a sudden, phones start ringing. Hey, I want to book you for the end of 2021, 2022. And then it was like, nope, we're taking a step back. And then the phones stopped. Like literally, the phone has rang like one time in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, we still get emails and things like that, but the emails are only, I'm moving my date, or I'm attempting to cancel. It's I'm moving my date, or what are your cancellation policies? Like that's it. That's our only options. Yeah. So I know for a fact that we're going to recover from this, because even if nobody booked anything, 80% of our clientele has moved it to 21 or early 22. So we will have those events. They're going to happen even if we don't want them to happen. Like we could be out of business and literally those events are still going to happen. So financially speaking, one of the worst things that happened to me, and I've talked about this to people, is I fell into the can't verify your identity bucket. So I haven't gotten unemployment this entire time.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So that was the big thing for me. And so I've been using, my savings and things like that. I'm finally going to end up getting it at the end of the month. But the fact is, like, I've had to deal with the situation Fortunately, other things like my mortgage, they've been flexible for my home mortgage. So it's tough. And we've done parties here and there. We've done, like we did a 40th birthday party this Saturday, or we've done drive-by parties, and we've done a couple of smaller things. We did our first official bar mitzvah back about 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And first off, it was fantastic just to be out and to do things, but it was completely different than we normally do events. So especially LA is really big about trying not to break the rules. Like, image is a thing here. So even with all, the music, and we want them dancing, but we kind of don't want them dancing. So we want them dancing at their tables. But so there's all these like rules and this kind of, I don't want to call it anything hypocritical, but there's that little thing, because people want to have a good time. People want to spend time with their family, but they don't also want to endanger or make it look like they're endangering people. So it's tough. It's a tough situation for our people. Venues, there aren't a lot of outdoor venues right now. I think they're going to be popping up. I think that's just a nature. We're doing a bar mitzvah on October 3rd, and it's an outdoor bar mitzvah. So that's what people do. But for the most part, for us, especially because the weather is always a little schizophrenic here, most of the events have always been inside. So until we can establish some kind of vaccine, some kind of therapeutics, I'm fearful that it's not going to open up. We have a governor that is like the most conservative governor in the world for COVID. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to risk anything. Meanwhile, our entire EDD, the Employment Development Department, is one of the worst in the nation. So it's like, you want us to do these things, but then there's no back end structure for us to like be helped. So I'm a big believer in COVID. It definitely exists. I know people that have passed because of COVID. So, is there fearfulness? Have they put that in our? Yes. I have asthma, so I'm immediately like, great. Apparently, if you have asthma and you get COVID, you die. But that's not necessarily the truth. Right. There's always a thing, but I don't know. So I'm a little more cautious. But if this continues the way it is, and there is no end in sight, and we aren't getting deposits in, we're definitely going to have to make some major modifications, because without deposits, we literally die if there's no money coming in. So right. I don't know. What is it like on your end?
So I would say we're probably in line with you. New Jersey, we were the first state to officially shut down in the country. New Jersey and New York kind of did it at the same time. Our governor is ridiculously conservative, and we had at one time the highest mortality rate in the country, and then it kind of like has fallen off. Now we're like 6th or 7th because we've pushed it down. Mm-hmm. But in order to do that, we've had to shut everything down. So for us, it's been pretty surreal. I mean, like, we typically book, not talking about like numbers, but like we typically book 80 to 100 weddings a month, like that's right. Like our mm-hmm. flow, and to go from that to getting like, moving hundreds of events or dealing with hundreds of cancellations or postponements mm-hmm. or whatever, to be honest with you, I agree with you in terms of like, when does it come back? And that's a painful thing to kind of constantly talk about, especially with people that are trying to have an incredibly awesome event. Right. So it's been tough. The phone is ringing, we are living off deposits. It's nowhere near mm-hmm. the volume that we would normally do. The rules in the Northeast and New Jersey specifically, like, you can have an outdoor event up to a certain number of people, but there are no dance floors allowed, permitted inside or outside. So that's like a limiting factor. Are they happening? Whatever. It's kind of like, I'm not a social distance police officer, so like, I don't really care. Mm-hmm. But you try to stay in line with like what the guidance is, because you can be fined, or they can do things against your business that are just, like, you've already been hit kind of hard enough, so like, it's definitely forced my entire team, my universe of people, to look at where we are. I think the business for a lot of people, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in, what you do, where you are, whatever, I think things outside of COVID are not going to be like just back to normal. It's going to take time to recover. And I think the landscape and the way events happen will be very different in the future. And whether people agree with me or not, like, that's my personal feelings. Like, I never would have ever thought we would have dealt with like what we have before, because, you know, we dealt with Hurricane Sandy. We're like, the New Jersey area is completely flattened, billions and billions of dollars of like just damage. We dealt with 9/11 at that time when, you know, like everything shut down completely because so many people were impacted from like our community. And like, here we are, you know, we dealt with a recession in 2008, but all of that allowed us still to party, allowed us to do club events, allowed us to go and do performance in different places. Now it's like, yo, that's all gone. And like, so are the stores like Neiman Marcus that you do your pop-up fashion events at. So are the stores like Macy's. They're like teetering bankruptcy, right? Like, these are big deal things, you know, like companies are not partying. They're pushing their parties to 22 if they can have them at that point, because they're all waiting for a vaccination kind of treatment, or for the CDC to basically say COVID disappeared before anything goes forward. And whether you agree with it or not, it's like, it is what it is. So it's like, how do you weather the storm? And, you know, I think a lot of DJs could never be prepared for this. A lot of people could never be prepared for like what we've all had to go through. And it's good that you've been able to survive with the savings and stuff, but that's not really that's kind of like, that just gets you through it. It's not a future. It's just now. And I need to worry about the future part of it that is coming, whether I want it to come or not. And that's one of the frustrating things, I think, for a lot of people. And I talked to Rachel Lynch about this on one of our podcasts, where it was like, people need to stop claiming that, first off, that DJing is not a real job, you know, and it's like, well, maybe you should have thought of something else with your life instead of becoming a DJ. And you're just sitting there like, I run a business. This isn't just me DJing at a nightclub. Like, I run a business with multiple events every weekend. I feel like that I've dealt with that with like my dad, my parents. They always just like, yo, when are you going to grow up? You know, like, it's like, you're getting like, what are you going to do for real? You know, and I'm like, and then finally, like one day my dad was like, he came to an event and I had like, I think it's when I opened my new office. So I was in the game for a little bit, you know, and we were successful and we were like multiplying. We've done double-digit growth consistently for 10 years until COVID, right? Yeah. 11 years, right? So we've constantly grown bigger, different locations, pretty places. Oh, you're in Europe. Oh, you're in the Middle East. Oh, you're in LA. Oh, you're here. Oh, like everywhere, right? And then all of a sudden, you know, like my dad comes in the office and he's like, I'm proud of you. And I'm like, holy, what? Like, what's going on here? My dad's proud of me. Like, wait. And now he talks about me. I'm like, this is awesome. Now he realizes it, but it took years for him to get that. And so many people look at this world that we live in and they're like, yo, that's like for real. But they don't understand the business behind the entertainment industry. And shout out to your man, Paris. I saw him throw a couple things in the thing, and Chaos Jones. Like I saw both of them throw up a set on Twitch. I actually caught Paris the other day. He did like a live set, like a lunchtime set. It was like throwbacks, feel good vibes, and I was definitely feeling that, man. He's a very talented dude, man. So give him some love. Rappo, and I see a lot of people popping up in the chat. I don't see it on my screen here. I threw it up on my phone. I see a lot of people giving some love, so just appreciate all that stuff.
Gotcha. You don't see the chat?
It's not moving. It's stuck from 1 o'clock, so I don't know why it's.
Interesting.
I didn't want to refresh, so I'm like, yo, it's
I
cool.
get you. Yeah. The good thing about Twitch is I've really been able to see a lot of talented people that I didn't even know existed. And not just talented as DJs, because there's a lot of great DJs that are assholes. So it's nice to be able to see people that you're like, okay, I really do. I respect you, and you're a really, really good DJ. And tell me about your experience being a DJ on Twitch, because I noticed in one of my interviews you had said it's humbling, you know, being a DJ on Twitch, because I know it's got to be a little, it messes with your mind a little bit. You're like, I'm doing all these events and I'm doing this, and then you get to Twitch and you're like, well, there's only 20 people. Oh, okay, this is different. Like,
I mean, not like beating my chest and waving it in the air, but like I've done a lot of things that like a lot of people have never been able to do. I've played events that most people could only dream of, and I'm not saying it like, oh, I'm grateful for that opportunity. I worked for that opportunity,
But it's a fact.
I've played the biggest parties in some of the biggest clubs in the biggest areas in the world. Like not even 3 years ago, I did, I don't know, over 150,000 miles on a plane. I played in
Jesus
5 different countries, 18 different states. And on top of it, I did like 235 events that year. Like in 2018, I played the post-game party with for the Super Bowl with like Diplo and Cardi B. How many wedding DJs played a show with 5,000 people with Diplo and Cardi B? Like it just whatever. I've worked for people like Kimmel and just like television, this, that, radio, like monster stuff. I'm proud of it. And I'm like, it didn't just happen. It was like, I earned it over time and relationship building and delivering and being consistent. Right. Then, I can throw something up on Mixcloud and it like charts globally. Right. Then I pop up on Twitch. I'm like, yo, we now my experience with Twitch has been interesting because we did go hard from an SCE perspective.
Yes, I remember that.
Earlier when everything shut down, because I'm like, yo, I can't deal with this anymore. We have to go play somewhere. Let's go Facebook Live. We'll throw it on Twitch. Who gives a shit? Like, and we were getting 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 people on the stream throwing comments up. But like, I didn't understand what Twitch was, and I'm like,
none of us did.
Feeling it. I'm like, it's just not like for me. Everyone I went on, I'm like, that's dope, but like that's not us. So like, I'm not fucking with this platform, whatever.
Right.
Then, I made the decision myself to say, I don't want to. So I have like for anyone that doesn't know my office, I have a very pretty, very impressive base. It's like the office part's like 4,500 square feet. Then I have a warehouse. It's like a converted loft. I mean, it's like my dream factory. This thing is like 100-year-old floors, 20-foot high ceilings. You walk in, it looks like a club. It's like crazy, like ridiculous. And it costs a ton of money. So I'm looking at everything and I'm looking at the business coming in. I'm like, yo, I can't do this. I call my landlord. He's like, you've been such a good tenant. I'm willing to give you the space for the rest of the year. Don't even worry about rent the rest of the year.
Wow.
And I'm like, thinking about it, I'm like, yo, that's crazy. That's a lot of money. And I'm like, but this guy's like, I just want to see you win. I want to see you get through this. I don't want to see you like lose it, like whatever. And I'm like, awesome. But then I'm like looking at it. I'm like, I don't think the end of the year is going to be enough. Like, I don't like what happens at the end of the year if we're not out of this. And that's like real deal talk. So I'm like, I talked to him. I'm like, I have 3 years left on my lease in this building. I want to help you rent this building because I don't know if we can take it on at the end of the year. So I put a post out there. I'm like, throwing my office up. I redo my basement, make this little home studio, which is so sick to have in my house where I could like work all day. Like I need that. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going up on Twitch and I'm catching your show. I'm catching a Diplo. I'm catching Heavy in Chicago. I'm catching Scene, Brian from Vegas. Like, bro, these guys are all monsters and they're all friends. And I'm like, yo, and then I'm looking at people that I know that are like coming up. Chris Flips in DC. Yoshi from New Jersey. These are all like people in my circle, my tribe. I'm like, yo, I love that they're doing a show. They're playing music, but they're also like engaging. So like I first thought you go up on Twitch, you do like a showcase set and you throw it out into the interwebs and that's it. I didn't realize that the key to this platform is like, it's about the engagement. It's about building a community. It's about having a conversation. It's about letting people into your space. It's about playing for them and making them want to come back and hang out with you just to be like, I could throw your little dope emotes in the chat and I'm going to throw you 10 biddies and I'm going to get all this stuff going and I'm going to subscribe to your content. And when I started realizing what was going on, I'm like, yo, I want to do it. Like I'm just going to do it. Like, and then I went round and round. Do I do it as my name? Do I just take the company? Cause I have a personal account. I have a business account. I'm like, what do I want to do with this? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm going to start consistently going on. And I'm just going to be popping up and just doing different things. And now I'm like at a point where I'm like, yo, there's like this platform is so much bigger than what it is right now. And I have a feeling, whether you agree with the legalities of it or not, Twitch is insane. There's such an opportunity there because you can connect with people on the other side of the planet and they can become people that follow you on Instagram and on YouTube and on this and that. And I'm like, yo, it's so humbling to go on and to play for like, I think one time I had 14 people in my chat and it was like, and they're all like good people. I mean, Jared Duran, Films by Jay, he's like from DC, Ashburn, Virginia. This man has come with me when I played at Hakkasan or Jewel, and I've done these like massive parties all over the freaking place. He's like my film dude. And, you know, I generated a lot of like subs that day for what it was, and I generated a lot of like bits, but that's not why I was doing it. I'm like, I'm doing this because I want to start playing and I want to start like whatever. That day you popped in, I'm playing like throwback deep house stuff. And I'm like, how do I like, this is like guilty pleasure stuff. And I don't get to play it all the time unless I'm playing a pool party, you know, by the beach or, you know, in the summer months, you know, I'm like, this stuff is like sexy fucking shit. I haven't done this in a while. I'm going to do a set on this today. Like tonight, I'm going to do tech house tonight, tech house, deep house, like just melodic chill vibe stuff. And I'm like, but there's a community for that on Twitch because there's people in Germany or in LA or whatever that feel that vibe that might not be, you know, the vein of what's hot right now in the Northeast because like everything's so like hip hop focused and whatever. But like that to me is like what I love. I enjoy it. That's like where I come from. So, you know, and you let it flow and it's like, man, it's so humbling. And, you know, like I've, you know, because I do stuff with DMS too, it's like we you know, throw all this content out and then like you start connecting with people and it's like, yo, you build more of like a deeper friendship or a respect for someone because you see them putting the work in and doing it. And the only way to be successful is to like put your ass in the chair to do the work, right? And like Twitch, it's very like unforgiving because people can like literally throw you shade if they don't like what you're doing or they're just going to bounce, you know? And
exactly.
It is what it is. So like, you know, it's not the purpose of the platform. The platform is like, how can you show off why? Look at Vice. He just put out a thing yesterday and he's like, I'm going to do a television, like he's got some type of television, Vice IRL. It's like, he's doing like his taco like thing, but he's like, you know, he did on Twitch and now he's getting casted for some show that's all about him. And I mean, it just shows you like the power of this platform because so many people are watching it. Miss Ninja on Serato the other, like, I mean, these are monster opportunities that like post-COVID can create awesome for these people, you know?
Exactly. People who keep questioning why you're on Twitch. And again, like you said, legality aside, that's not what Twitch is why it's important.
I got enough problems this year. Take the legality conversation out of here. Like, come on.
Yeah. But just the sheer fact how small the world is, the contexts that are available to you just by you doing what you normally do. And say, for instance, for you, you're like, I'm going to do a deep house set. I'm going to do a chill set. There's always, first off, Twitch is open 24 hours a day. So there's always somebody out there that may like what you're doing. I didn't know when I started this particular thing that this could be successful, where I'm like, I think I'm just going to start talking and let's see what happens. And, you know, it's been going well, but it's only because I tried. It had nothing to, nobody told me to do this. So it's like, if you have something in your mind, Twitch is a good platform to kind of bounce it off and see what people like, you know, but I think Twitch is all about you. It's about establishing who you are as a person, how you DJ, not playing what everybody else has already played in the world. You know, it's not about playing your wedding set, you know, it's not about that. It
doesn't work. It doesn't literally.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
What's her name? Bella Fiasco, right? LA, right? Or she's Bay Area or LA, whatever.
She's
like,
LA,
she's part of Beat Junkies crew. And like the girl's talented. She's ridiculously charismatic. She's engaging. Yes. I watched her like 2 weeks ago because I was literally sorting out my tech stuff. So I threw Twitch on to see who was on. She popped up as the #1 person. She had like 12,000 people on her stream. So I'm like, yo, let me see what she's up to. Boom, I clicked in. She's doing this like groovy, kind of like casual connection, funky, like down tempo, chill out, R&B influenced funk soul set. And I'm like, and like she's just having a good time, and they're doing shots, and they're laughing, and they're like, and I'm like, yo, this is the recipe. So like when you come in to kick it with us at SCE, like, yeah, like the other day we had a bunch of people in my office here, and we're like, the man's like scratching crazy, like showing off all the stuff he does. But like, there might not have been a ton of people there, but we had a great time doing it. And it was like, yo, we were talking to everyone that comes in. I'm grateful every time that Caution came in the other day with a raid, 15 people. I give him so much love. But you know what? That dude became on my radar now, because not that I didn't pay attention before, but like there was a personal interaction with me and this person. So like now he hit me a message on Instagram. I opened up his message on Instagram. I responded to his message, and for what it's worth, like that relationship couldn't be in play as us communicating, as us sharing a couple text messages, this meeting right here, if I didn't engage in the platform. And I think it's just the beginning. Now that like legit Beatport is now like involved with Twitch in some capacity, I feel like things are going to start to shift, and you're going to see a major play, because Bezos from Amazon is way too smart to like let the Sonys of the world dictate how he's not going to have a community that he's literally thriving in. I'm just saying that. There's a reason why the dude made $13 billion in one day. And Twitch and royalties and all that stuff is a drop in the bucket if he can sort out the issues that are plaguing this platform right now, you know?
Correct.
And Mixcloud did it. I'm sure Bezos can do it. If anyone can do it, Bezos can do it, because he's going to shut down every shopping mall in the United States if he has his way, and turn all your JCPenney's and Sears stores to Amazon shipping centers. You know what I mean?
Amazon lockers. Go to Sears. It's all Amazon lockers.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, this dude is just if anyone's going to do it, he's going to do it. So like, for the people that are naysayers on the platform, like, you don't have to understand it right now, but the longer you take to understand it, the further out you're going to be from creating your community, your zone, your people, your tribe on this platform. And if you're not taking time to do it, whether you're doing a talk show, a podcast, a DJ set, you're playing Super Mario Brothers, you're playing pole position, or you're playing freaking Fortnite, do whatever you do that like strikes your vein, and like literally throw it out there, because now more than ever, this is a golden opportunity. And out of everything that I've ever been through, the greatest things that I've ever accomplished in my life came out of like some of the most trying and difficult situations. And I think that goes for everyone in business that's successful, you know? So that's and shout out to Marcus. I look like the MC from Third Base. Come on. The gas. Come on.
A little bit. I can see that.
It's funny. It's cool. I'll take it. He was cool at the time.
He really was. He was a trendsetter. Honestly, he was like the first white dude that could actually rap, not just like somebody putting out the white guy as the savior. Like, he was just down for the cause, and he was dope.
What is it? Third Base? MC Search. You know,
exactly. Yeah. He was dope. Yeah, and totally respected. So, I think that everything you just said was completely 100% facts. You know, you have to be able to don't wait. Don't wait for whatever special trigger point you need to get online. Just get online. Don't worry about the fact that there's a green screen, or that your computer can't do, 15 layers of OBS.
Wait till you see the setup today. Like, I'm not like, fuck the green screen. I'm like, yo, it's too much. It's too overwhelming. I'm making it like candlelight, super sexy in here tonight. It's going to be like me, the camera, a light, the freaking plant, and good beats. That's it. Vibe out. Like, because some of the most successful people, except for Scene or Diplo, are not using green screen. They're just literally in their house, their kitchen, their bedroom, and they're throwing up dope music and creating a community around that. Because it doesn't have to look like a video game, even though it's a video game platform. And like, respect to Scene, because he's a beast, and he's like hitting that platform super hard, and he just goes off, and I love it. But it's all about just being, I think, on this platform, just like mobile business, it's It's all about being consistent, sticking to the calendar, putting stuff up there, and you know, and just like literally just it takes effort, it takes work, and it takes time. And that's the thing, is like people want that result right away. They want to throw up, just because you could pack a club or you could put 200 people on your Facebook stream doesn't mean like you can do that on Twitch, because people just, that it's not there. Is it possible? Absolutely. Will it happen day one? Absolutely not. And like the quicker you resolve that, address it, and move on, you'll go further. And if you're not paying attention to this platform, you really, really, no joke, need to like wake up and start putting your time and energy on it, because Twitch for our community is going to be like TikTok for the rest of the world. And that's a bold statement, but it's a shame that TikTok generates trends bigger than pop radio today, where Twitch is now doing that too, because I can go kick it with Four Color Zach when he goes on, and I could send him a quick message and he'll be like, yo, SCE, what's up? You know, and that's like someone I respect in the game. And it's like, that's a trend placer. Little John and Sujin from Scam, they dropped his new track all over this platform. And Sujin's like, let's show the world how powerful Twitch can be. And that track goes so freaking hard. It's like, it's nasty, you know? And like, he didn't put it out. He's a VP for Epic Records. He didn't put it out that way. I'm sure he's going to. He dripped it out on Twitch for the DJ community first. And it's just a monster. It's a beast.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's completely untapped. I want to call out the raid that just came through. Stank Palmer. Hey, thank you for the raid. By the way, if you don't know who Stank Palmer is one of the dopest edit makers on the planet, edit blend producers. He makes some super dope stuff. So make sure you follow Stank Palmer. It's Stank Palmer. I don't think he goes by his real name on there. So Stank Palmer, follow him. He's got some super dope stuff. I see Mojax in the house. What's going on, Mojax? Good to see you, fam.
Yeah, shout out to Mojax, man. He's another beast on freaking YouTube, bro. He's got so much stuff, and also like shout out to him for ripping those 3000s apart and just putting up solid content. He's super solid.
Exactly. Now, and by the way, Metaspin, what's going on too? Thank you guys, everybody that came through from the raid. I appreciate you. Thanks for hitting that follow. Appreciate it. Now, I have heard that you are now starting to do your own YouTube channel.
Yeah. So, I've always put a lot of content online on all platforms, including YouTube. There was a time when I did a bunch of like Ask Jason Jani videos. I did like 200 of them. That's how I met Nick Spinelli. Like, he used to follow my content there, and he came over to be part of our universe, our tribe. After going round and round for like a long time, I have like a lot of content. I also do a lot of learning projects with like Phil and the crew from Digital DJ Tips. I have a lot of like information. I have a lot of help. I had a masterclass last year for mobile guys and all this stuff. I work with a lot of manufacturers. I help people design stuff. I've brought other products to market, like the ETX line for Electro Voice, the Evolve systems for Electro Voice. I help them bring those to market. The White Evolves was like my brainchild. I announced that one.
Oh, really? The White Evolves?
At Mobile
those are good looking things. Yeah.
Yeah, I literally debuted them a couple of years ago at Mobile Beat. Like, I've done a lot of cool stuff with different people, and I have great relationships with a lot of people in different places. So, long story short, I was looking at how I'm going to use my time most effectively, and how can I start to do things just to push myself into another creative space. So, I stopped really putting up content on YouTube. So I'm like, I have the space to record stuff. I have the time right now because I'm not flying all over the universe. But even when I go back to that lifestyle, should it happen when I can do it, it's like, I should start creating content from these events in Dubai or Spain or LA or whatever. Kick it with Cleveland Terry in LA. We go eat street tacos and do our own version of a video. Like, that's insane to do, you know? So like, I have relationships with good people. When I do a mobile event in a different market, I'll go and do a VIP party for a corporate. Then I'll go pop into a club in that city and play like a 1 hour late night set. You know what I mean? And it's like, why not take people for the ride? So I just, last week, I think I launched the channel. I woke up one day, I'm like, I was going back and forth. Should I put this content on SCE? And I thought about it. The people that we have on the SCE channel, we have a little subscription base or subscriber base, but they're really looking for like wedding vlog style content. And there's over 2,000 videos up there on top of all the other stuff that I did. And I feel like the other things I did didn't really get as far because it's not consistently that. So I decided to go off and create my own channel underneath the SCE company, but it's all about like reviews, unboxings. It's going to be like tutorials. It's going to be like food for thought. I put a video up today about, should I put pricing on my website? Because literally those are the questions that people hit me all the time with. So I'm like, instead of like respond, let me record a freaking video, put it up on the web and throw it out there, you know? And I want to make my stuff different than what's out there. And if it helps people along the way, I just succeed at doing what I've always tried to do, and that's push people forward. So I want to elevate our business so like that cheesy mobile DJ stereotype disappears a little bit. When I'm done with this business, I want to be able to say like, yo, I did something greater than the parties that I got paid to do. I want to leave some type of influence on the foundation of what's to come. I want to be able to help someone and pay it forward so that they help 3 people in the future. And like, I've tried to do that all along the way with content, with taking someone's phone call, with responding, with never like walking past someone. That's why I got involved with Mobile Beat way back in the day, you know, and I did that for 5 years, just trying to do like, yo, you guys, how could a mobile DJ conference have a conference and not have a DJ, you know? And then it was like, yo, we got food involved. We got all these different bigger artists involved. And we like literally changed the fabric of what's there. And up until COVID, it was going to be a great, it turned around because, you know, NAMM is the only place you can get to if you want like real tech or a real kind of like DJ show. DJ Times is like, it's not that, you know, like Mobile Beat's got the bones to do like really big things, you know?
Mobile Beat, is that the one that's in Atlanta? That's
in Vegas. That's in Las Vegas. Mobile Beat is in March in Las Vegas. I did it for the past 5 years. I was the on-stage performance DJ, but I was also, I did like the VIP party. So each year I played with like a different group of artists that we brought in. I helped kind of secure the artist. And, you know, we've worked with like Oakenfold and Vanilla Ice. And I brought Scoop in 2 years ago. Scoop's like a big homie of mine from Jersey.
Fat Man Scoop, we actually developed a relationship because of COVID.
Yeah, Red Foo. Yeah. I mean, Scoop's dope, man. I mean, he's just a good man, you know. And
he really is.
When my son was born, I'll never forget. He called me and was just like, "Yo,
congratulations on your baby!"
No, he was just like, "Yo, this is hey man, this is Scoop. I just wanted to like say thank you." And I'm like, "Yo, this is Scoop." I'm like, "Is that you for real? Come on, you know." Like, and he was like so soft, and you know him. I mean, we have videos of him coming in to the office where you know I'm waiting. He's like, "I'll be there by noon." I'm like, "There's no way you're here by noon." He rolls in at like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "What do you mean? What am I doing? What are you doing? You live in Jabip, you know, like whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, come on, you know." He's a good man. You know, we've done a number of shows together in a number of different places. That man, when I did my 10-year anniversary party for SCE, he flew from Miami to help me surprise my team, my tribe, my people with a pop-up. And,
that's dope.
You know, did like a impromptu show for like a half hour, you know, unannounced. And then literally I put him back in the car, sent him back to the airport, and he flew back to Miami. Like, what a good person.
That's good people. That's definitely good people.
He's a good man.
You know, it's funny you said that you're making this YouTube channel because you just got tired. If you're going to answer the questions, you might as well do it in a way that it reaches everyone. That is 100% why I started my YouTube channel, because I was the tech guy of every single thing that any of my friends had questions to. And I was just like, you know what? I'm really getting tired of answering all these questions over and over again. So now it's like, hey, I have a question. Go to this video. Go to this video. And hopefully they actually watch it, and then I don't have to be so involved. But that was the whole starting point of the whole thing, you know. And I felt like I had something to offer.
It's so funny. It's like, yo, you know, like depending on, you know, what you do and your place in the business, like eventually you're gonna come across the opportunity to inspire someone and to maybe help someone. And like I think back to when I got into this business, and like, if this one dude didn't take me under his wing and show me how to like match 2 records together, like I wouldn't be here today. So like with that in mind, that dude had no business doing that. There was nothing he gained from it, but he paid it forward. And it's like, so many people in the mobile world literally shit on each other. They're just like, yo, I could do this better. I could do this better. That's duty. That's like terrible, blah, blah. They like, shut up and like give the dude or give the girl constructive criticism to help them fix it, or let them stay in their own lane. And like, you stay in your own lane. And like, the world would be a much better place where like, if people just supported one another. And that's the thing I love about Twitch that like you don't find on any other platform, not Instagram, not Facebook, not YouTube. Although like you guys have your clique of like, all you guys are all doing awesome things. And like, I know your whole circle, like I pretty much know everyone. I know Rick, I know Bar, he's in my area. I know Eric, he helped me with EP. And like, I have different relationships with everyone in that circle. But like with Twitch, it's like, you can throw someone up and like, it's like you're pushing them up a little bit. You know what I mean? Host a channel, throw them some bits, throw some subs out, like do something that's going to like, you know, help that little community out a little bit. And like, man, it's like that love, that Twitch love is something that's really, really something different about this platform from other places, because like you are exposed out there. You know what I mean? Yeah,
you really are exposed. And it feels real. You know, because I've been to other places and, you know, people pop on, hey, good. But it's like, I don't know, when people come to your stream, it feels like they genuinely want to be there for the most part.
You know what I think you need to do more of? Can I tell you something? That set you did with your son. I thought that was so money that you guys were chilling out in the same room going back to back. Bro.
We do it every Saturday. Saturday.
I saw it one time and I'm like, I can't wait till my son is that age. I could like literally play music with him. So like, that's like feel good, genuine. Like I remember, I don't know if I threw subs out at you guys or I threw bits or I threw something, but I saw your son like look at the screen and smile. And then like you started talking. It was like so cool the way it like, it was like a family thing, you know? And like, I think more than ever, like the community of the world needs to like just be better to one another, because there's so much freaking hate. Like throw the news on, it's hate. Doesn't matter who you believe in, what you believe in, what you do, whatever. All I'm saying is if we, the DJ world, could just like lift everyone up, like I think things would just feel better everywhere else. You know what I mean? Because like we all share the pain of what's going on in the world right now. We all want the new tech, and whether you like Denon or you like Pioneer, please don't shit on Pioneer. Like until you play on them, don't shit on them, regardless of what you think they should be or how much they cost or whatever. Like just
you don't have to hate one just because you like another one.
Take a deep breath and relax. For every person that hates this, there's probably 5 people that could say the opposite about the other thing. So like, just chill and like breathe and just be respectful, right? Play nice. It's all good, you know. And that's why I say your crew, man. Like literally, I threw Paris Paul like some love. He's like, "Yo, Jason, SCE, I saw you on Cleveland show. Like, thanks for stopping in." It's like, bro, that's what good people do. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, I'm gonna sit here, and by the way, you're playing dope stuff. I'm gonna sit here for a little bit, and I think I listened to his entire stream that day. You know, he played for like 2 hours. I would literally had it on the background. I'm like, yo, dude's killing it. Like in and out of stuff, nice and smooth. Like. Felt good, classic soul, sing along, new shit, old shit. Like it was like he showed he had knowledge of not just like the top 50 on iTunes or TikTok or Spotify. Like he was deep, and that's dope, you know? So
I agree. And it's funny because like I did a video recently. A guy sent me an email saying, hey, check out this new innovation I created. It's laser optical DJ turntable, blah, blah, blah. So I went on, saw it, thought it was interesting, made a video out of it. Not a big deal. Hey guys, take a look. This is very interesting. People were like, oh, can he just stick to vinyl? And there's all this. And it's like, guys, the man created something. Like, you have to respect that just because it's not for you doesn't mean somebody else isn't going to go, that's amazing. I love that. But the man literally built something with his hands, and you're shitting on it for no reason. Like, just say, it's not for me. But it's cool. It's not for me, though. Like, that's all you got to do. It's
like,
easy.
The same thing about the 3000s. That's a great example. Like, I got a set of 3000s. Why did I get a set? I didn't get gifted a set from Pioneer. Like, I paid for those 3000s. Mm-hmm. And for those of you who want to play in like the advanced nightlife world, whether you like it or not, Pioneer is the standard. So when Pioneer releases a new piece of equipment, guess what? Like, you got to be on it. And guess what? When Denon is there, like, you're going to have to learn that too. And whether you like Rekordbox or Serato, you play on a flash drive, a thumb drive, you freaking put songs off your phone. It doesn't matter. It matters about understanding how this stuff works. So I had these things. I put on the SCE channel, I threw up a first impressions. It was like, yo, this is what I like about it. This is what I think feels better. Feels this. It feels this. Someone's like, right away, they're like, Denon. I'm like, yo, I've never said anything negative about Denon. Like, I respect Denon. Like, they've done some incredible things too. I'm like, and then he's like, shitty review, bro. And I'm like, it wasn't even a review. Like, go check out Mojax. He's going to do a dope review that I know is going to be super, super in depth. This is like an impressions video. Like, I unboxed it, I opened it up, I literally put it on my table, and I started using it. And I recorded this video 5 minutes after I'm done to say, this is what I like about it, this is what I don't like about it, this is what I think could be changed, this is what I think doesn't matter. And like, I left it at that. You know, it wasn't like, like I don't want to be the guy that does like all like, I just want to be honest, you know, and like I feel like that's what led me the right way. And I've worked with brands and I've been an endorsed artist, and like I was an endorsed artist for Denon at one time, and like whatever, there's nothing wrong with it. It's like if I had the Prime system here, I would do the same freaking thing with that, you know. But I didn't get that because the clubs that I play at all rock Pioneer or Techniques and an S9 if you're not on a CD.
Exactly.
You know, like that's what you need to know how to play on. That's what they equip the club with. Like, figure it out, you know? Yeah. So.
And I think that's why a lot of the reviewers were basically all kind of stating the same thing. This isn't for you. This is for the clubs. This is for the rental houses, for the festivals, because this is the product that the big name artists are going to want. Now, does it do things that some people may question? Of course, there's nothing perfect out there. Like, no matter what you do, you're going to find flaws in every product. And it's just being realistic about the flaws and going, I can work with those. That's not a big deal. And moving on. But people are they're so butthurt. They're really passionate about their stuff. And their stuff is all that matters.
It's so crazy. It's like, I have an SRT. I have SZ2s. I have CDJs. I have phase units. I play on PLXs. I play on 1200s. I play on MK5s. I have a pair of MK2s. I have more gear than anyone I really know that has like a personal collection of stuff. I have touring grade stuff. I have cheaper stuff. I have stuff I can throw in a backpack and pop up and play. I have everything. And like, you need to know how to use it all. You want to be successful, you need to know how to use it all, because if you only know one platform, the minute you go to somewhere else, and this happened to me legit for real. I was in the Bahamas last year, and I was told to do an after party. I was told to be part of an after party. I had my laptop. I told that they were going to have a Serato controller, capable controller there. I get there, I go to plug in, and I'm like, weird, it's not reading. And I look at the model, I'm like, yo, I don't even know this model. And it was a Pioneer unit. It was a Rekordbox Pioneer unit. It wasn't a Serato capable unit. So here I am, basically standing there, like literally scratching my head, like, what do I do? I don't have a Rekordbox library. I don't even have Rekordbox on my computer, because like that wasn't what my kind of like setup said.
Yeah, we get it. Yeah, I understand.
You're caught in the wind. You know, what do you do? And like, from that moment, I was like, yo, guess what? Anytime in the future, I'll never be in this situation again, because I'll always be equipped to play on anything at any time, no matter what. So like, whether you like it or not, you got to understand how to use it. Whether you buy it or not, you got to understand how to use it. And like, unless you have someone that's going to be able to flex it right away because they have it like that, or they have the connection, or they have the hookup, then, you know, maybe like chill on the ripping it apart stuff. And regardless if it has this or doesn't have that, like, that stuff doesn't matter. In the real world, it doesn't matter, because clubs that book you or events that book you, they don't give a shit if something has Wi-Fi enabled or not on the player, or they don't care if it's blue or green or white or black or purple. Like, no one cares. Like, they just want the result. They want the final product, you know?
Right. And in all honesty, Wi-Fi is a mobile DJ thing. It's not a club DJ thing. It's not a festival DJ thing. So why add it in there? Why add the added expense of throwing it in there for people that are never going to touch it? So I understand that, because a lot of people right now are bedroom DJs. That's the masses right now.
Yeah.
So, when a Denon Prime Go has Wi-Fi, I'm like, well, that's dope. As a mobile DJ, being able to pull songs is important to me, but it's not important for the festival guy that has his thumb drive and he just pops it in.
When you control the environment in your home studio, when you control the environment with the equipment you're bringing to someone's event, that's when you like literally own that space, right? But like when you venture outside of that space, which for some people will never happen. For some people, it won't happen in the next whatever. For some people, it'll happen tomorrow. For some people, everyone's different. But the thing is, when you start moving things around and you start playing out in different places, like, yo, it is what it is. And like, I lost opportunities to open up for Monster Loud Luxury one as an example, because I wasn't technically certified with the CDJ players the right way. So I'm like, guess what? Like I'm going to make sure that I understand these things 100% inside and out. So like the next time that phone call comes in, I can answer the phone call and be like, yeah, I got it. Like, we're good. No problem. No one needs to stress on me. Like, I know how to transition out with the track they give me. Like, we'll figure it out. Like, it's cool. You want my set list in advance? No problem. We'll work it out,
Yeah, it's interesting because I did a club once, and they were using CDJs, and I brought my discs, and for whatever reason, they weren't working properly. And I was having problems, and I remember saying, hey, you know what? I have I have Virtual DJ sitting here. And if Serato's not working properly, Virtual DJ has a HID mode. And because I didn't have the club kit at the time. And I remember the engineer going, no, bro, I won't let you do that. We're going to figure this out. Like, oh. So in some cases, what's up?
I was going to say, it's like, like Jazzy Jeff said it too. He's like, I don't care. I'd rather listen to a DJ play with sync than have a DJ play terribly without sync. Like I'm not saying I support sync. I'm not saying that. I'm not making that argument happen. Or if you need to know how to mix music, I'm just saying like they're all tools. Everyone has tools around them, right? Like,
yes,
use what floats your boat, what makes you most comfortable, and gives you the opportunity to be creative, and we all win. You know what I mean? Like that's the point.
Yeah. And sync. Look, if you're Jazzy Jeff, if you're Miles Medina, if you're any of these guys, and you decide you're Scratch Bastard, and you decide to use sync, I'm not going to question you.
Yeah.
Because you've earned the right to use whatever you want. We know you know how to DJ. For me, it's always been about, use sync, but learn it as if sync wasn't available. Because if you get to a spot and sync isn't available, you walk in, they're like, we only do turntables and here's your catalog of vinyl that you have to use. You're screwed, So just learn how to use the products the way they were intended. After that, do whatever you want. It's like learning how to drive a stick shift. Like, you should know how to drive a stick shift. That doesn't mean you're ever going to drive one in the next 20 years, but know how to drive one just in case.
Just in case. Yeah. Yeah, I've went on rants before. I think I even have some videos online about like why you need to know how to like how I guess the art of beat matching music and being able to play music properly is important. And like so many people still to this day think it doesn't matter. And like, I don't understand it, but like,
no,
that's my business. Like for me, they wouldn't work in my company. It wouldn't float, but like their business, they might have a great thing going on. It doesn't really matter. There's like touring festival artists that rely on the cheat codes like that to kind of get through. And like, it is what it is, it's like, when you get down into the culture and the art form, that's where like it matters. On Twitch, it matters, and we're talking a lot about that.
Yeah. I feel that at least in the beginning, Twitch, and even when I was DJing on YouTube, for whatever reason, I got lumped into a category of guys that weren't real DJs. I was just like product reviewers. So every time I would give like opinions on stuff like, mixing and are you an open format DJ? People would go, well, why should I listen to you? You don't actually DJ. You need to be like more like DJ TLM because he DJs on his stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm not DJ TLM, so that's okay. Yeah. And then YouTube, we started live streaming, and it was YouTube and Facebook at first before people started moving to Twitch. And it was more for validation than it was me enjoying it. People needed to know, oh, okay, you actually know how to DJ. Now I will take you seriously. Now I believe what you say, as if the words changed because I did a proper blend. So it's always funny to me. And for the first couple of months, that's how it was. And then I was like, you know what? Who am I DJing for? I got to DJ for myself because I'm not having any fun doing this. And it's forced me to like start thinking about new types of mixes. Maybe one day I do a funk mix, and then the next day, and then I create my crates and I make a fantastic 2-hour funk mix of music that, hey, I haven't played this in a long time. This would be a dope song for people to hear. So I make that. And then, hey, you know what? I haven't done a early 90s rock set. Now, are a lot of people going to want to sit there and listen to my grunge rock mix? Maybe, maybe not. But it's different.
You know what's cool about it? When you have that mix and you talk to someone and they're like, I really love like the pop rock stuff. I love like early 2000s like rock. Be like, I got something I got for you. Let me send you this link. Hope you enjoy it. Boom. And that like seals the deal, locks that event for you. And it's like, they're like, yo, I never even saw that coming. Like, that's why you need to have all this material in the background. And like, you need to be able to flex. Cause like next time you're playing this party and like someone comes up and they're like, yo, whatever. It's like, yo, you're prepared, So like, yeah,
we got a gig just recently. This weekend event that we had, we got because we were referred by a planner, and the guy was like, look, I know what I want, and I need to make sure the DJ can do it. And he's like, I need you to send me a mix. I need you to do, and he's like, just show up on my stream at 2:00 and you'll see me DJ. And the guy went to his stream, watched for the entire hour, was like, you're hired. And not only are you hired, but the music that I thought I wanted, I would rather have a lot of your music. So not only did he sell himself, but he proved the point that you have to trust the DJ. A lot of people think they know what they want for their event, and then they get to it, and you put everybody in a mob mentality, and the mob doesn't want what the client may have requested. You know what I mean? Once you get them all together. So it's always a guessing game, but that's what a true DJ does. A true DJ can adapt. So, all right, let's take a look at the chat because I know we've been going for a while now, and I don't want to keep Jason, stuck to his chair. I know he's got a lot of stuff to do. DJ Rel in the house. What's going on, fam? Chaos. What's going on? Let's see if there's anything. SCE event group is even in the house. We got some. We got double trouble here. Okay, let's see. Anybody else here? It looks like
I threw up my stuff because I saw that. Like some people were like, "Oh, I found his Twitch," but I don't use my personal Twitch. I only use the SCE account. So like that's the account I use. And if you're looking for the YouTube, it's just Jason Jani Media. You can find it on there. There's a couple like YouTube channels with my name. So
there you go. It's on the page. It's on the picture if anybody can see that. Jason Jani Media. Make sure you follow him there. I'm sure there's going to be some amazing stuff coming out. The man has tons of experience. So, I enjoyed this conversation, man. In all honesty, this has been fantastic.
Yeah, we got to do it again, man. I want to kick it with all you guys when you guys do your little gathering.
Oh, the quarantine one. Yeah, no, we can definitely do that. Yeah, we had started that. We had brought on Idea, and we had brought on Rachel. We tried to bring on Nick Spinelli, but the man kept ducking us. He'd be like, yeah, I'm good to go. Then the day would come up, and he was nowhere to be found every single time. So we were like, all right, whatever, man. So we stopped inviting him completely. But yeah, I would definitely love to have you on there. That thing is chaos. That's
Yeah.
just shit talking 101. So
I love it.
It's a blast.
Stir it up. Let's go.
Perfect. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this entire session, throw the ones in the chat. Throw the ones in the chat, as many as you can. Make sure you show that man that he was an amazing, amazing guest. And I'm honestly, I'm humbled by having you on, because, like I said, I really respect your company. I respect what you do. And here's the thing about what Jason just did for me, because I was a little bit in a funk, just because of the situation. You know, you pull up your emails and it's like cancel, reschedule. You know, and there's nothing refreshing. There's nothing new. But Jason, just with his optimism, just with his fact of, you know what, go above and beyond, do what you got to do, you know, just, you know, be one with your company and make sure you're pushing forward. That alone, I'm like, okay, when I get off of this, I gotta get on the phone. I just got to call people just because, and just make sure, you know, set things up for the future, because you can get caught in this bad place where you're like, nothing's happening, nothing's changing, but
and nobody's beyond that, Cleveland. That's
right.
the thing. Like, everyone, I don't care who you are. I don't care what level you're at. I don't care where you're located in the world. Like, everyone goes through things. Everyone has problems of some kind at some point. Mm-hmm. Everyone is struggling with different things in life. And like, no one's above all that. Like, I go through it. Like, you go through it. Everyone goes through it. And like, sometimes you just got to like change up the circle that you're in a little bit.
Yes.
Kind of like wake up a little bit. And my phone is always open for you and everyone, you know, like, you guys can come and kick it with me anytime I fly on this Twitch platform. I'm trying to go live. I was doing like 4 days a week. I think I'm going to do 3 days a week for DJ sets. And I'm going to do like once or twice a week for like quick talking, kind of like podcast stuff, just because I need to work myself through the funk that we're all going through. And then, you know, like, everyone is different. So like, yo, you have something, you send me a message, I will call you. I will text you back. I will tell you when I will call you. And like, I'm a man of my word, bro. Like, this is a good connection. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the ones in the chat. I appreciate all the people, and anyone that jumps on board and is not following. I appreciate you guys for following Twitch, YouTube, whatever. I am grateful for the position I'm in and the place I'm in. And you know, it's crazy how the world works itself out. It's crazy how things work itself out. And like, you can either sit and complain about the world, or you can do something and change the world that you sit in. And like, I rather work to change it, because I never want to be the greatest thing that never was, right? Like, I always want to, I never wanted to be like 50 years old, look back at my kids, be like, you know, guys, I was a really good DJ. I just never, ever did it. You know, like, why? Like, what lesson are you teaching them? Like, go for it. If you fail, fuck it. You failed. Like, try again. Try something else. Do it a different way. Like, you don't like the vibe on Twitch? Go to a different channel. Like, it's all good. You like the vibe? Stay a bit. Say what's up. Tell a friend. Like, support the fam. Support the tribe. Like, good things happen to people when you pay it forward. It's karma. It's the way it works.
Agreed.
You know?
Agreed.
So one question. You get that funk, you hit me up anytime. Like, anyone on this has a question, you need help with something, send me a message on Instagram. Send me a message on Twitch. Send me a message on YouTube. I'll do whatever I can do. Comment somewhere. I'll literally reach out and try to help you out however I possibly can. Legit.
Yeah. Except I will not help you out if the answer is already on my videos and you just are too lazy to check it out.
The help might come in the form of a video, but you might help me and get an idea for content that I have to create, because I'm like, this is the third freaking time this week I'm answering this question. So like, I'm going to just start boosting out these videos, and hopefully they're helpful. And literally, you don't have to be a mobile DJ to jump on board YouTube and follow someone's subscription, because you might find something and you might pull a little nug out of there that like can help you with your day-to-day, with your painting business or your photography business or your you know, hustle as doing whatever you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One question I got to answer for my partner, Paris, because he's going to not let me hear the end of it. As far as the employees that work for you, are they 1099 or are they W-2?
So there's like, I think I had like pre-COVID, there was like 53 or 54. And I have a hybrid mix of both. So it really depends who you're talking about, what they do for my company, and like how often they're working. So like like a photo booth tech might fall into an employee, but like a part-time photo booth person that I use like once a month, like that might be a contractor. Like someone that has, like I have teams of like talent or hosts that are employees, and then I have teams that I subcontract them to do it however they want to do. It depends if they're exclusively available through my company or not. And it also depends on like what they do for the business. Cause like we have a lot of like one-off partners that we bring in. Musicians would be a great example. If I bring Crystal, who's a super dope percussionist, if I bring her out to my event, like I'm not consistently working with her every weekend. So like she's a contractor, that would be like above my 50, my accountant is an employee. My assistant is an employee. My office manager is an employee. My support office person is an employee. My receptionist is an employee. Like it really depends on the role. You know what I mean? Like my DJ support at my events, Rico, he's an employee. Jake, who's my other guy who comes to all my events, he's an employee. It really depends on who they are and what they do.
Yeah, California just screwed the pooch with it because they force everybody to become employees. You have to prove why they are not an employee versus the other way around.
Yeah, so, I think we have to do that where we are too. There's just like, it's like an 18-point kind of like verification process. And like the process to do it, there's like a lot of gray in each one of the things. So, again, it all depends on like the situation and like what they're doing for you, right? Like if we do one of the 5 mitzvahs that we do, I don't have a dance tribe that like comes out. Like if I work with someone, they're like, yo, I need like 8 dancers. I want 4 to be guys and they all have to be break dancers. And I need 4 girls, but I want them all to be super hot. Cause like, that's how crazy clients could be. Like,
nope, it is. All right,
let me find 4 smoke show girls and let me find 5 guys that are totally boss at breakdancing, or let me find a guy group of 4. And like, I'm not going to hire them as an employee to do one event. They're just going to be paid for that one event. But then like I account for the taxes on my side because I got to like account for that, workers' comp insurance, all that stuff. That's like part of it, So salute to whatever that was. That was cool that someone said that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was Paris because Paris on our side, the moment they switched over, all of a sudden, for us, it created a whole new revenue suck. Because all of a sudden now they got to be W-2s. Now they got to be
16% like, taxes. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You have to account for that money.
Yeah, it all costs money, and the reasoning behind it had nothing to do with like our business. It was all Uber and Lyft and all those. Like that's why the law was put into place because of them. But everybody else is suffering, so they're trying to actually modify it because it's so hard for California businesses right now. They're shutting down left and right just because of that. So you throw AB5 where we just worked out, okay, this is how we can do it. We can still remain profitable. And then COVID hit. We're just like, okay, it is what it is. California, all we just need is a huge earthquake and just take everything down in a fire. Oh, look, we've already had an earthquake and fire, so we can't win here. But let's end it on a positive note.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this was fantastic. This has been great. I really, really appreciate you for coming on today, and we will definitely have you back on, especially on Quarantine DJs. And guys, hey, enjoy. This is Wake Up in Cleveland show, and we're gonna let Mr. Jason go. But hey, man, always a pleasure. We'll talk later. We'll definitely we'll get some stuff down.
Hit me up later. I appreciate you. I appreciate this. I appreciate everyone on the chat, on all the different platforms. Again, I would love if you guys could jump over and support my my journey wherever you're located. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I don't really care. Find me. Just find my page. Support the love and send me a note if you need something. You want me to cover something? You want me to make a video? I do this thing called Real Talk, and it's like I like to curse and I'm colorful and I get animated with my hands, but like that's who I am. And you either like it or you don't. But I promise I'll do my best to give you information that'll help you and your business and hopefully your path in some way, shape, or form. So I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much, Cleveland. I appreciate you. And thank you to all the homies and people on here. I just much appreciate everyone's time, good energy, and all the ones in the chat. So thank you, man.
And real quick, what time are you on today?
Oh, today I'm going to go on at 9:00. I have a thing with Crate Hackers at 8:00, which is a hack thing I got to do for House Pick.
Then I'm going to go on.
right after that, I'm going to go right on and literally play whatever we crack open today from a house perspective. So I'm going to do like Tuesdays is like tech, deep vibe house for me, groovy stuff that like, you know, it's not like radio records. It's more like, yo, I haven't heard that in a minute, or how did you make that edit? And I play a lot of my own edits from DMS on there. A lot of stuff that I can't even release now, thanks to Sony. Fuck you, Sony. I do a lot of stuff on that channel because like I put a lot of time into it. So I try to make it creative. I try to make it cool. I try to make it like fun for whoever's on there. 9 o'clock today. Tomorrow I'm gonna do like an open format kind of party vibe, house party set in the afternoon Eastern. So it'll be like 12 o'clock your time. Thursday I'm gonna do like a talk, I think at 3 o'clock, and then Friday night, I think I'm going to do like a 9 o'clock, like go hard, it's the weekend kind of mix because I'm off on Friday. So I try to post up the calendar on my Instagram and on Twitch every Sunday for that week. And then in addition to me on the SCE channel, I think we're going to have Jeff fly a set. Demanda's going to fly a set. Nick Spinelli's going to fly a set this week. So I'm going to try to boost up my channel with greater than just Jason, you know, because we have a nice truck around us. So.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we've been trying to do because we're trying to build our Check 1 2 Twitch, and we want to bring in our guys, like all of our DJ guys, and it's like it's been pulling teeth to get anybody to like get on. Like, what's wrong with you? This is not only does it help us and the company that you will be working for once we get back going again, but it gets you out there too. You know, it's mind-boggling.
It's crazy. And that's how I feel too. I'm like, yo, we have an opportunity. Like on different platforms, I could have a couple million downloads for like my workout mixes. I could have, you know, something charting on Mixcloud. I could have Fit Radio, something like literally getting support. I'm getting hit up from people that are using my mixes in New Zealand or in Australia or in Belgium or in South America or in freaking Utah. And these people are coming to this platform because I'm talking about it on my other social media channels that they're following. Now we have all this attention and like, you guys are not helping. So like, I'm trying to inspire my crew to be like, yo, there's an opportunity for you to build into places that like you don't even know exist right now. And the more people that work at something, the greater the rewards can be for the people that are involved. And that's like the thought of like the company vibe. That's why I don't use my personal Jason Jani Twitch. I only use SCE. So if you see SCE pop up in a chat and start throwing bits around and some gang people, whatever, like, yo, that's me doing it because, and I'm like, yo, Jason checking in, whatever, because I want my name on my company to be stronger than like my name because the collective of my universe is much bigger than just me. You know what I mean? And, you know, there's a curve with that, but I'm doing my best to kind of like address it and put it out there forward. So.
Gotcha. All right, guys. Hey, Jason. Hey, always a pleasure, pal.
I appreciate you, man.
We're gonna have to do this
so
again.
Much, man. Yeah, we'll talk soon.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Okay,
all right, bye.
Bye.
All right. That was super dope. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was super dope. I've had some really good interviews. Everybody that's been on has been amazing. I haven't had one bad interview yet. Now, of course, you know, that might change. You know, all these people are like top of their tops as far as YouTube and mobile events. So they all know how to talk on camera, but I've been really impressed with all of these. Jason Jani, that was a fantastic interview. And, you know, we didn't actually have anything. Like, normally speaking, I'll pull up some information about the particular person, and because I'll have to guide the interview. But this one was all freeform, you know. And I know Jason took a little bit of time to get to know me a little bit. You know, I went on his on the SCE site. I went on you know, his normal Instagram stuff just to kind of check him out. I even did a little quick search, little Google search. You know, I don't even Google search myself, but that was amazing. So I honestly, I'm real happy with where it is right now. Thank you to everybody that was hanging out today with us. You know, I know these things can go a little long, but I think you're all getting some valuable stuff out of it. And I think that's the most important part. That's also why I started this, was for everybody to get some valuable information and take it with them. Take it with you. Use it, learn it, love it, have it become you, and practice it. a lot of people will listen and they'll listen but they won't practice it. Like, I want people to actually listen to what successful people like a Jason Jani is telling you and put it into practice. Because if you just listen and you don't put it into practice, then it's not helping you. It's not helping anybody, So, guys, always a pleasure with you guys. We're going to see who we're going to raid right now because we definitely want to raid some people. Let's see who's on. We obviously talked our way out of Tweak Music Tips. So, who I think we're going to end up raiding is, it looks like Aiden Scott is doing a 12-hour birthday stream. So we definitely got to support the fam with that one. Let's just make sure that he's still on. I don't know. Does anybody know what time Aiden Scott started his stream today? Let me know in the chat. All the DJs, as they said, is it Scene's birthday or is it Aiden Scott's birthday? Are they both? Oh, it's born today. All right. I know that DJ Scene sometimes only goes till about 12 o'clock. I don't know what time he started. That's the issue. So we have Scene, or we got Aiden Scott. Oh, so Aiden started 3 hours ago. Oh, he's going for 12 hours though. So he's just getting started. So yeah, hold on. Everybody else stay in the chat. Stay on the stream. Let's just make sure before we raid who we're raiding. Yeah, we're gonna get Mojax on the show very, very soon. I haven't pulled my Mojax card yet. I feel like you're still you're upper level, so I'm holding on to my Mojax card when it's like, okay, I need to have that plus 75 to make sure I hit partner for this month. But no, I know Mojax is always down to do it. I appreciate him for it. Okay, let's see what they said. Yeah, 12 hours. Yeah, I'm not going to raid Snapback today. I raid Snapback a lot. I need to raid somebody new. Okay, let's see here what we're going to do. See, this is the problem with only having one raid to do. Now, Aiden only has 57. DJ Scene has 326. So many options. Throw it in the chat, guys. Let me know which one we're going to. We're either doing Aiden Scott or we're doing DJ Scene. Throw it in the chat. Throw it in the chat. Yeah, I think Aiden is not partner yet, actually. Yeah. All right. It looks like Aiden's coming in here, so we're gonna raid Aiden, and Aiden's dope. So it's not like I'm doing a disservice by sending you guys to Aiden. Next time we'll go to Scene, but Scene has 400 people and he's Scene. So we're definitely gonna hit up Aiden. All right, y'all. The rule is we have one simple rule, and that is they declined Caution's Heavy's partner app. Really? Oh, that sucks. I wonder if they're starting to clamp down a little bit. I guess we'll find out. I'll have to text him, see what's going on with that. One rule of any of the raids is you stay on the raid until we've done the raid. Hang out. If it's not your vibe, bounce. But make sure you throw in those chats. Throw my emotes in. Throw it in. Let them know that we're all supporting. And we'll go from there. I got to find out what's going on with Caution. All right, y'all. Let's start this raid. Anybody on YouTube, Facebook, Mixcloud? If you were on YouTube, if you were on Twitch, you'd be in this raid with us. And we'd all be having a blast moving on over. So let's start this raid right now. Everybody else, we'll see you soon. Enjoy your day. We're starting this raid. All right. No problem, Meta. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. Here we go. Time to start this raid. We'll see you over there.